1063.
The White House points a finger at the former president. Lisa Brady, Fox News, reacting to a Republican-led House committee report on the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. The Biden administration is pushing back, saying President Biden had a stark choice because of an agreement made by President Trump and decided not to send an already smaller number of U.S. troops back into combat with the Taliban.
And he was able to buy additional time to prepare for that withdrawal all the way into the summer. And we as a nation are safer for it. Any and every discussion about what happened in Afghanistan has to start right there.
National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby also pushing back on what he calls falsehoods, including a lack of transparency. One of the report's findings is that the administration misled and in some cases lied to the American people at every stage of the withdrawal. That might be one of the issues raised during the first debate tomorrow night.
The vice president has spent the past several days in Pittsburgh preparing for the ABC presidential debate against former President Trump. But after marking the anniversary of the September 11th attacks Wednesday, the Harris campaign is making a swing state tour. Harris will be in North Carolina on Thursday and return to Pennsylvania on Friday. Her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, campaigns in Michigan and Wisconsin.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The Trump campaign has also been focusing on battleground states. New tropical storm Francine is churning through the Gulf of Mexico, heading for a possible Wednesday landfall in Louisiana.
Because of that, hurricane watches are up along with storm surge watches. Winds could approach 100 miles an hour in gust, and the surge could top out at 5 to 10 feet in some of those southern parishes. Meanwhile, inland areas look for 6 to 10 inches of rain. Flash flooding is very likely.
Fox weather meteorologist Mike Seidel in Lafayette, Louisiana. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? The sound of water being poured on 800-degree rocks. If you were here in this sauna, you'd be so hot you wouldn't have the energy to move. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. Besides, after a long ride, a helmet sweat is way more satisfying. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without even breaking a sweat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
NYPD officer Jonathan Diller's tragic story made national headlines this year. Now, Jonathan was shot and killed by a career criminal during a traffic stop. Jonathan, who is just 31 years old, leaves behind his wife Stephanie and 1-year-old son Ryan. Now, nothing will ever replace the loss of a husband and a father, but the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to pay off the mortgage on the Diller family's home. Please commit to $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire. And the mechanical mangler at the controls. He's got a new do working there. It's Flounder for you Monday.
Knowing the day I was born.
Did the girl okay this new...
What are you talking about? This is the same haircut I always get.
Yeah, well, we'll get to it. 303, look out. With a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Happy freaking Monday. Braves are in town, makeup game, and I'm going to the ballpark and going to be on 680 The Fan. Or whatever, I don't know what actually could be. Is it the FM 93? What is it? What's the FM? 93.4, 93.7? Anyway. Pete Davis, first of all, up in the mountains of Macon. What's up? What's new? And besides the Falcons, holy crap. Man, weekend time, what's up? What's going on?
Wait, hold on. I got to patch him in here real quick. Let's see here. There we go. And there we go, Pete. Good morning.
I didn't know what that meant. He was moving his fingers back and forth. I kept waiting to see what
I've been working on the YouTube.
Everybody.
Been having some...
Yeah. Well, anyway, so what's up
I thought that was a cold reception, but this morning at 6 a.m., it was 46 degrees.
Yowie boomba. Yeah, it's nice. It's beautiful. I think it's only in I think it's getting warmer now. I think it's probably in the 80s, but it was 70 degrees all morning for most parts, which is kind of nice. Any weekend update of anything interesting? Or you mentioned something about some big jubilee or something or other over the weekend? Friday you mentioned something about you had to go to a thing or.
Oh yeah. I didn't make it. I was watching college football and sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did not make the shindig. Everybody had a great time. It was a wonderful party, mainly because I wasn't there, and that's usually what happens when I don't show up. It's a great thing. But I did discover one thing this weekend.
Yeah, what was that? You discovered a thing there.
I learned that I like to sing in the car. Do you like to sing in the car?
I like to sing in the car. Frequently, yeah. But what do you sing? What?
But I only sing when the car's in reverse.
You only sing when the car's in reverse? Well, why is that? I don't understand.
Because I found out I'm a backup singer.
God, I was going along with it, and I was hoping there would be like a different. That's good. No. It's Monday. We got. You don't start off in fifth gear. Okay, you got to work our way up to momentum. Hell, yeah. Flounder in the darkness of cave in there. What's up? And now you got the new haircut. Now
this is the same haircut I get every couple weeks. It's a 3. I mean, it's nothing.
Well, now all of it.
I'll take over 3.
Well, the funny part is, Flounder recently engaged with the lovely Miss Veronica, and so we're come in, and he said, by the way, I'm going to go across the street. I didn't know I guess they have a barbershop around here, so I guess you have everything around here.
Yeah, there's a place right across the street.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, so Flounder texted me and said he's going over to get a haircut, and then he came back, and my first thought was, does she know about this? Because if you don't check with the girl. And then I got to thinking, actually, first of all, does your lady have any care whatsoever about you getting a haircut? Is she saying?
No, she likes. I mean, this is.
She's everything's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is.
Now let me ask you in
reverse. She likes to do.
Let me ask you in reverse. If she wanted to change her hair,
sure.
No problem.
I don't mind.
Oh my God! And if she just came home one day with a different haircut, give me a break. My ass, you'd be.
She wouldn't want to get short hair.
No.
Yeah, Pete knows.
You're wrong. It's no. I loved it because it was like all of a sudden, there's a different girl in here. It's kind of like a little fantasy thing going.
Yeah. Well, if that's all it takes for you to pretend it's somebody else, you got a problem. Yeah, pull her hair back real tight. You in there, Mike? 307. Can repeat and Flounder. Anyway, how you doing? It's Monday, and it's all politics and stuff and things to debate tomorrow. I got a million personal things and all kinds of stuff. We got a ticket. Are we doing we're offering you. This is a great opportunity if you're a golfer. What do you hear about this coming up here too? Also, a bunch of things to hear from people in the news. We'll be talking about that. And I'm kind of excited. I got a message from Joe Simpson on Friday, our Braves broadcaster and a friend of the show and stuff, and I mean, Joe Simpson was around 20 years ago when we were doing Braves games and stuff or whatever. So anyway, or more, I guess. But anyway, so he's kind of invited me to stop by the broadcast booth tonight before the game. So when I get off the air, I'm gonna go over to the 680 The Fan booth now. And what is it, 93.4 or 93.7? What's the FM on 680? Because I had that on my radio. I listened to their FM signal, 94.3 or something like that. 93.7, I don't know.
No idea.
What do you know?
It's 93.7.
93.7. I knew there was one of those. 93.7. I just checked with Steve back there. Steve did that. Steve, Scott.
Staff.
Staff, Scott, Steve, Mark. Matt, Mike, and Bill. Dan, we got a Dano. We got anyway. So I'm going over there, and this ought to be weird. Now, again, I think it's not a big. You shouldn't tune into that just to hear me. I don't know if they're going to talk to me. Just say, come by and do a little a stop and go or whatever the hell they call it, where you come in and say, hey, look who's here. Hi, how are you? Good, great. Now get out. So I think I'm on. I think I'm going to be on between like 6:28 and 6:28:25. So that little that like the 20-25 second period there somewhere around the whatever. I don't know. And I'm kind of nervous. Isn't that stupid? I'm nervous about going over to be in the booth at 680 guys. I mean, it's just stupid. I'm an idiot. What the hell have I got? I mean, why should I have you be thinking about it?
This either will be a resounding success or you will be exposed.
Well, the first thing, when Joe actually texted me and I said, "Does Mr. Dickey know anything about this?"
We're not allowed there.
I'm not really sure.
Please.
Our 680 fan base is really the camera. I don't know. Anyway, so
we can barely make eye contact. I mean, come on.
They're not allowed to look at it when they come on the hallway. Seriously, so I'm a little nervous about it. Anyway, I don't know. I go by and say hi, and that'll be the ball. Anyway, it'd be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Also, in fact, there's a concert, and this is killing me too. I promise we get all the new stuff. I got to get this out of my system because I just feel like crap. I think I know what's wrong with me now, and I got to try to fix it. But first of all, tonight another concert. I live near the Marist Park Amphitheater thing, or Marist. I don't know what they call it. And so tonight's concert is John Legend, but it doesn't start till 8, which means the traffic is going to be brutal until like 8:30. So normally concerts are at 7, and I don't know why this one's at 8, but if it's at 8, I assume that the traffic, therefore, is going to be horrible right up until concert time, because people are always late. So in other words, I got to do, so after I go to the ball game for a while, I'm going to go up to see the horses and play with the horses up at the barn and just delay trying to get home, because it's just going to be a nightmare. So it'll be a fun thing with a horrible ending, but it'll be nice. So anyway, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. 311-311, 404-741-1230, 404-741-1230. We'll talk about the Afghanistan withdrawal and the scathing report by the House GOP members. And again, the Democrats are trying to fight back again, but what a crock. Well, Donald Trump was the one who started that. You freaking scumbags. You're responsible for. And by the way, remember the videos of the people falling off the airplanes and trying to. Who the hell thought that was a good withdrawal plan? Hey, I know. Let's have all the airplanes. Let the people onto the tarmac. Let's not try to stop thousands of people from going on where the planes are. Okay, they're jumping on the wings. Let's not try to stop them or anything. Okay, I mean that was a really good plan. And oh, by the way, first of all, let's get rid of all the military people, and then let's shut down the military airport and have them go to the civilian airport, which can't be defended. Anyway, we'll talk about it. So we got that going for us. Jesus. Also, this is the greatest soundbite of all time. Bernie Sanders has just confirmed that Carmela the shiftless and lazy side piece, America's favorite consort, is a fake and a phony and doing anything, she'll say anything to try to get elected. And guess what? That's fine with them. Democrats don't care. Literally, they just don't care. And what scares me, we'll talk about this a little bit. I even wrote this down here. If the polls show that first of all, I can't believe the polls show that they're basically 50-50. Trump and Carmela are basically 50-50 within standard deviation of 2-4%. They're 50-50, which I find very hard to believe. Unless you realize that's why we don't have a democracy for one vote, one person. That's why we have electoral college. Because if Trump got, if you count the number of votes compared to Carmela and Trump in New York, if New York State votes 1 million for her and 17 votes for Trump, clearly she's going to cream him in the popular vote. But there's still only one state for the Electoral College, so you can't really go by the polls if they're going on what individual person votes. Because remember they said Hillary was going to win by 93% chance at that time. Okay, so that's one thing. But here's what kills me. The polls show that at least 30% of the American voters don't yet know much about Carmela. And they want to know more about Carmela before they cast their vote. Where do you think they're going to get their information about Carmela? TikTok, YouTube, MSNBC, CNN, mainstream media. They're all going to say, boy, this is the greatest. She's going to change America for the better. You're going to have a fracking bowl in every pot. Everybody's going to get a free house and a free car. And that's what scares me is 30% of the population still needs to know more about her. Where are they going to get the information? I mean, honestly, The fall of the American media, the free press in America, I think is going to be the most important story above politics and everything. When this is all said and done, it was the media that made a difference in what's happened in the last 8 years.
Yep.
This has never happened before. And the politicization of the Department of Justice, that's all also because of the media. They let them get away with it. So anyway, man, we got stuff like that to talk about. Oh, my God, 3:14 already. How you doing? Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. Nice to have you aboard, and happy Monday. Look out, here we go.
Extra 1063 is committed to bringing you the local and national perspective you need and hearing your voice leading up to the election.
There is only going to be one presidential debate, and there's only one place in Atlanta you can hear it. That's Extra 1063. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. You can listen to it at 1063 FM 1230 AM, extra1063.com, or the Extra 1063 app. Download it today.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station, Extra 1063.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
Extra 1063 and the Warrior Alliance are teaming up to help veterans succeed after military service. Join us on Friday, September 13th at the Warrior Alliance Expanding Our Impact fundraising event with Tug Cowart and special guests Drivin' and Cryin's Kevin Kenny and Atlanta Braves alumnus Sid Bream. Doors open at 5 p.m. and guests are invited to a private celebration party at the Xfinity rooftop to watch the Braves and Dodgers. Tickets and VIP tables include dinner, parking, and the game and are on sale now at thewarrioralliance.org. Supporting veterans means more than just thank you for your service. Sign up today.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
I got a question. Is your dog a picky eater? Or maybe has bad breath, dull coat, low energy, or even some digestive issues? Greetings. I'm naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, founder of Rough Greens, and for decades, I've taught humans how nutrition is critical for our optimal health. Well, the same is true for our furry family members, which is why I created Rough Greens, because unfortunately, dog food is dead food. But Rough Greens is packed with live omega oils, essential vitamins and minerals, powerful probiotics, digestive enzymes, and tons of other things. And your dog will love it. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve their health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens, the easy and smart way to improve your dog's health and longevity. My dogs and I are so confident your dog's going to love it, we're going to give you a free Jumpstart trial bag. All you have to do is cover the shipping. Get your dog a free Jumpstart trial bag today by going to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com.
There's Ringo. Here we go.
Every time I see your face, it reminds me of the places we used to go.
Yeah, thanks for the memory. Appreciate it. I'll think about that for a while now, too. Ringo, 319. Yes, 2005. Now 2006. Hold on. I got to get freaking frog. It's 2005. I got to get to the doctor. Liverpool City Council confirmed it was going to demolish Ringo Starr's birthplace The entire country has an incredible... No, because it had no historical significance. The house in Dingle was one of 460 properties to be demolished for a regeneration project. The council said Madron Street had no significance because Ringo had only spent 3 months of his life there. So we're tearing that thing down. You can all kiss my foot.
It's a bad part of the world. When we were over there in 2013, they were about to tear it down, and people were writing their names all over it. And it's pretty interesting.
I wonder if they let them take the wood. I wonder if they should have chopped it up and let them take wood pieces or something, maybe.
Take the door, because the door had people from all over the world writing notes and stuff.
I'll bet somebody probably did. I mean, if you were a contractor demolish it, wouldn't you take that and put it right in your trunk? Take it right home. I'll be back, boys. Anyway. Birthdays include Michelle Williams, 44. Glenda and the Oz Great and Powerful. Heath Ledger's wife in Brokeback Mountain. And Heath's unofficial widow in real life. Their daughter, Matilda Rose Ledger, turns 19 next month. Michelle Williams.
She's in Venom, 44. Too. She's really good in Venom.
Yeah, she was, and she was in, she'd been in a bunch of things. I remember her in a couple of comedy things, and she won in Romy's Adventure or something, or one of those. She's been in some of those high school things. She's in a bunch of
She played
stuff.
Marilyn Monroe, too, did a very good job.
Oh, that's right, too. That's another one I forgot. This day, 2008. Boy, talk about modern technology. Check this out. The iTunes Music Store in 2008 reached 100 million downloads. 100 million in 2008. 1 year later, it was 1.8 billion. From 100 million to 1.8 billion in 1 year. Remember the Sega game system, or Sega, S-E-G-A, Sega game system? It went on sale on this day in 1999. By 1 in the afternoon, every Toys R Us store had sold out in every store by 1 o'clock. Jeez.
That breaking news there I just sent you.
I just saw breaking news. Here we go. Pete Davis. Oh, here we go. Harvey Rapestein is still alive. Oh, boy. Not ready for the double yet, eh, Harvey? Apparently, Harvey Rapestein is 72 years old, rushing to the hospital for emergency heart surgery. Let's see, we got any other date here. 71-year-old slime bag taken to Bellevue Hospital at from Rikers Island. The convicted slime baggy rapist had chest pains, and he's supposed to go to court this week as they have evidence in a grand jury new indictment on sex crime charges. He got away with a couple of them. He's been convicted of at least one. He's got more to come. Anyways, he's got heart issues. Oh, poor baby. No, really. What a slime bag. I mean, by the way, if he were even halfway decent looking, can you imagine the women like Gavin Newsom, the governor of California's wife, the first lady of California, snarkaluka-luka-locked with Harvey Rapestein to get ahead in her career. Can you imagine that big fat? And they said his thing was like a whirled up snail out. God. Anyway. Okay. All right. 322. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. No. Everything's good. 404-741-1230. And I can't get a date. Dear God. No, I'm only teasing. 741-1230-1230.
When was the last time you went on a real date?
I'm not going to ever go on a date. I've never been on a date.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. Management has talked about doing a singles night for you. I'm being serious.
My ass.
I'm being serious.
My ass.
A bachelor show.
There aren't enough wheelchair ramps to have a good dating night for the ladies show up from the senior home. Imagine
we could do an early dinner at like Piccadilly Cafeteria.
Like 4 o'clock at the cafeteria. Early special.
We could get the doctor who deals in impotence to sponsor it or something.
Yeah, we'll get one of those ED things. Who's that doctor does our ads? Let's get that guy. Sterling or something. What's his name? I don't remember. Anyway, 324.
Total body.
404-741-1230. 741-1230. I have no idea how I go off another thing. The breaking news. That's what it was, Harvey Rapstein. All right, here we go. A couple of quick update things on the House report that came out about the Afghan withdrawal. And again, I want to dwell too much on it because it just makes everybody upset. But a couple of quick things, obviously. The report obviously showed that the withdrawal from Afghanistan was Biden's pattern of callous foreign policy. He tried to get us out of Vietnam in the 70s before it shouldn't have happened. Biden and Vice President Side Piece were advised the Taliban were in violation of the conditions of an agreement that was already in place. The U.S. was not therefore obligated to leave. We did not have to leave. In fact, the State Department built up people there, failed to hatch an escape plan as it became clear that Kabul would fall. The embassy was one of the largest in the world. In the end, they were left stranded as the military was ordered to withdraw before the embassy had shuttered. Former Afghanistan Ambassador Ross Wilson, who instead of shrinking grew the presence as security got worse, the committee found that NATO allies expressed their opposition to the U.S. withdrawing. It would be perceived as a strategic victory for the Taliban, which it was. When Trump left office, thousands of troops were in Afghanistan. Biden was trying to cut that number to 0. The ambassador fled the embassy ahead of the entire embassy staff. He reportedly had COVID, he said, but got a Foreign Service officer to take his test for him so that he could flee the country. Let me again, his name again is Afghanistan Ambassador Ross Wilson. Fled the country having somebody else take a China kill virus test for him so he could flee. As the Taliban surrounded the August 14th area, the committee noted the government had still not determined who would be eligible to be evacuated. When the last U.S. military flight departed Kabul, 1,000 Americans were still left on the ground, and 90% of the eligible Afghans who should have been taken with us. There were no guidelines on who was eligible to be evacuated. Nobody was prioritized because they didn't know who was at risk. The government had no idea of the people being evacuated on the planes if they were the threats. Remember that? They didn't know who those people were. It was the first 400 on the plane. Are you 400 get on? Okay, hope you're not going to try to kill us later. Jeez, I mean, what was the freaking hurry? There was no reason for it except politics.
Now, fortunately, wingsurfing is the number 2 sport in Afghanistan.
Man, can you? I mean, again, these people actually got on the wings of the plane thinking they could fly to America on the wings. Or in the engine hull. What do they call it? The engine, big round part where the engine is. Jeez, I mean, it's freaking unbelievable. And by the way, we left $7 billion in abandoned U.S. weapons. Also, the Taliban received $57 million in money that was supposed to go to the Afghan government. Taliban got it. They were using our military biometric devices and databases to hunt. Here we go. They used our information to hunt down our allies. In the first 6 months after we fled, 500 former government officials and members of the security forces were murdered. Hundreds of girls were sold as child brides since the takeover. Hundreds of families are waiting for a buyer for their daughters. Women are now banned from speaking in public or showing their faces in public. Vice President Side Piece was barely mentioned in the report, which is one factor why one former committee senior investigator named Jerry Dunleavy said, "I'm quitting in protest," because she wasn't even part of this. Harris, we said, was the last person in the room. She's been bragging about it, and they barely mentioned her. And by the way, Carmela Side Piece is one of the 15 officials that Congress has recommended having a resolution condemning for their behavior. Oh, by the way, the Democrats are blaming Trump. The ranking Democrat says, well, Donald Trump, if there were plans for withdrawing under Donald Trump, man. And the witnesses would have said would have had to face renewed combat if we hadn't continued the withdrawal. Oh, my God. They're blaming Donald Trump. And by the way, remember, nobody condemned the Afghan withdrawal. Carmela said it was wonderful. She was very proud of the Afghan. Remember, they all said they were so proud of the way they got it.
Yeah, she said she was the last one in the room.
Yeah, bragging, boasting. So proud about it.
Well, she had to get up off the floor. So that's why she was the last
Well, that's true. The last one there, all right.
Nobody helped her up.
Well, there you are. Some gentlemen, please. 328. Okay, let's do this. Let's do Bernie. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention the thing. Flounder, you did it all for me, and I didn't do it myself. He mentioned the thing. I forgot to write down the numbers of the things. All right, this is cut number 1. Bernie Sanders let it all hang out. Ta-da! If you had any doubts before, Bernie Sanders was on Meet the Press, and he once again has told everybody that Carmela Sidepiece is a freaking phony and a liar and will do anything to be elected.
Vice President Kamala Harris as a progressive. She has previously supported Medicare for all. Now she does not. She's previously supported a ban on fracking. Now she does not. These, Senator, are ideas that you have campaigned on. Do you think that she is abandoning her progressive ideals?
No, I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and doing what she thinks is right in order to win the election. My own view is slightly different. I think that in America today, there are a lot of people, rural people, working class people, who no longer believe that the United States Congress and government represents their interests, too dominated by big money interests.
Actually, the Congress and the presidency has been under control of the Democrats for the last 4 years. I mean, it's unbelievable. Did you hear him say it? Well, she's going to say, she has to say whatever she can say to try to get elected. He said it out loud. This is hysterical.
Love him for that.
Oh, my God. I mean, this is... Anyway, we got so much more. Kimber Pete Flounder, 3:30, 404-741-1230. Happy Monday. It's a beautiful day. Join us if you like. What do you think? Look out.
It's time for your Georgia headlines presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Walt Emmer, the CEO of Waffle House, Atlanta Police Foundation Board of Trustee member, and Georgia Tech alumnus, passed away at the age of 58. Emmer had overseen the operations of Waffle House since 2012. The circumstances surrounding his death have not been released. DeKalb County firefighters responded to a house fire in Panthersville overnight. The home located on Cohasset Lane was fully engulfed in flames when firefighters arrived around 1:30 this morning. The fire destroyed the home, which partially collapsed. Investigators say no one was injured in the fire. Fire crews did rescue an animal, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Pittsburgh's Chris Boswell kicked 6 field goals to power the Steelers to an 18-10 victory over the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins went 16 of 26 for 155 yards with 2 interceptions, ending hopes of any kind of comeback.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 1063 on social media or download the Extra 1063 app.
Your Atlanta Braves are down to the final few series of the regular season and need you at Truist Park when the Los Angeles Dodgers come to town September 13th through the 16th, followed by the New York Mets September 24th through the 26th. Fans can look forward to some great entertainment and, of course, giveaways, including rubber shoe charms on Sunday, September 15th for the first 3,000 kids through the gates. And then on September 24th, the first 15,000 fans will receive the City Connect replica jersey presented by Xfinity. The fun continues through the week when the Braves celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month on September 25th with a special Los Bravos Night celebration, including a special on-field presentation, salsa band, Mexican dancers, and more. The regular season wraps up as the Royals come to Truist Park September 27th through the 29th. Visit Braves.com/promos to check out all the fun and purchase tickets starting at just $9. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Toro. Football is kicking off, and your lawn needs to be in top shape this season. With the help of Toro Mowers and Howard Brothers, you can keep your yard looking like a winning field all season long. So stop by your local Howard Brothers and find your ideal Toro mower. Their friendly team is always ready to serve you because they know a great yard is the ultimate home field advantage. And Toro has the top-notch performance to make it happen. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Toro and with Howard Brothers.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
You know the old expression, I love it when a plan comes together? Well, with our First Liberty Notes, this has been so true. Hello, I'm Brant Frost, founder of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about our family's company all the time right here on the station. For over 30 years, we've been the local lender who said yes when the big banks say no. A couple of months ago, we opened up our First Liberty Notes program to Main Street investors just like you, and the response has been just incredible. Folks from airline pilots to physicians to even pastors are now earning 8 to 13% interest rates while helping to fuel the growth of local small businesses. If you're a qualified investor with a minimum of $25,000, you too could be earning 8 to 13% interest. We'd love to have you join our First Liberty family today. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and see if our First Liberty Notes are right for you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty Notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. SEC accredited investor status must be verified. Securities not offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
During this election, hard to trust anyone, so trust Extra 106.3 to be the voice you need right now. Hey, it's Clay Travis, proud to be a part of Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Well, goodness. It's only me. It's only the Kimberly guy. Pete and Flounder. Ray Charles, 336. Mercy. 2005. Terry Howard, a studio engineer, had been accused of stealing recordings belonging to the late soul singer Ray Charles.
Hey, mama, don't treat me wrong. Come and love you, daddy, all night long, all night.
The man could sing. George on My Mind, just one after another. Well, the guy was cleared of all charges in L.A. Howard had worked for Charles for 20 years. He had dozens of recordings belonging to Ray Charles seized from his home, but apparently, I guess he said they gave them to him or something. Anyway, 336, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Phone calls go to the top of the list. Scott in the window, guy, you're on the radio, man. What's going on?
Hey, Semper Fi. Welcome home, brother.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Kimber's YouTube Mafia.
They're out there. They're out there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I just got a question for you.
All right, then.
Why is Kamala running, in your opinion, why is Kamala running for president? There's only one answer to it.
Well, the only one she had, they picked her. You know, they made her.
No, it's for the power. Now, I want to make a comment with Donald Trump. That man could have retired 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's running for president, honestly?
Well, I've said many times, Donald Trump has such an ego that he wants to be known as the best president who ever lived, and God bless him for it. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to be so good to be the best person who's ever done it, outstanding. I mean, who could be against that? So I think that's
they beat the crap out of him since he came down that escalator.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that he came back for more, and he's taken it. And for crying out loud, he took a bullet to the head.
Yeah, and again, by the way, that story kind of disappeared too. Anyway, Scotty, thanks again. It's all it's just this last several years is going to be the subject of one after another historical political theses for years to come, sometime in the future.
Feces, you said.
Yeah, feces. I said feces, yeah.
By the way, I blew your papers over there, sir.
Oh, did you see that? That was so cool. I've got a couple of pieces of paper, and I was just standing here, and all of a sudden, they just stood there. Well, now I won't do it. Now they won't.
Well, I
do
see,
it.
I'm blowing. That's what
And by the way, speaking of feces, I said feces. I put we got Holy Crap at Sports coming up later. In fact, I'll tell you what. Can we do a quick sports thing? Let's do a quick kind of a tease sports thing
go
because
for it.
there's so much stuff. Amazing. Honestly, I could do a whole with you right now. Do it at least an hour just talking about sports stuff. Falcons. I guess I saw your and you and Tom Hughes and how many guys I know did the same thing on the Falcons. So this is our $500 million new system and quarterback, is it? Whatever.
I got a little rant ready for sports that going to basically put them in their place. It's nothing we didn't expect. We've seen it 5,000 times. Yeah. It's the same old with this organization. It doesn't matter who the owner is, who the coach is, who the GM is, who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter.
But why?
It doesn't matter.
I can't believe we got a great quarterback. We have a great running back. We have a great tight end.
Wait. Great quarterback. He's never won anything.
Well,
never has won anything. He folds in the playoffs like a lawn chair. It's like a warm towel fresh out of the dryer. The sucker never won anything, and he's coming off an Achilles injury, and he showed it yesterday. They didn't play him one freaking down in preseason. The guy hadn't played in a year.
Yeah.
He didn't get one down in the preseason.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we're going to talk a lot about this. Also, you want to give a quick review on Tom Brady? Is anything you hear about at all? And him being on TV after being a
his voice annoyed me.
Yeah,
which I should talk. By the way, I think did Cousins play in that first game for like a quarter? I'm trying to think.
I don't think he played at all.
Preseason.
I think they kept him out. I don't think he ever played.
That was Penix that started the game.
Yeah.
Huh.
Let's see what else.
Yeah, Tom Brady's voice annoyed me a little bit. It's high pitched.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk, but it's like
you don't have a high. You have a good voice, but he's kind of whiny. It's sort of whiny or something or other.
A little annoying. He needs to work on it.
Yeah. And upsets and stuff, or any kind of overall thing on the weekend.
The Notre
college
Dame
football
thing is funny.
Yeah, oh my God, Notre Dame! I mean, holy smoke! With Northern Illinois, are you serious? Indiana?
Now,
oh my God!
Northern Illinois went to I think the Orange Bowl a few years ago, but this is the biggest upset they've ever had. In fact, it's such an upset. Rudy has transferred away from Notre Dame.
Didn't Butkus go to Northern Illinois?
He went to Illinois.
Illinois. Okay. Anyway, but again, I mean, I didn't watch all the guys. I'm in and out and doing stuff, but I kind of check in, look at highlights and stuff, and I thought, oh my God, how were they ranked number 5? And it was.
You know why? Because everybody in New York votes for him.
Yeah. Jeez. Anyway, we got. And by the way, speaking of sports, one quick kind of a thing coming up in 5 o'clock. I have a history note a sports history note as part of Pete's Holy Crap at Sports later on, and it involves a famous football player. And I put a Facebook posting with a famous scorecard I have, signed by 2 famous players I played golf with, including one that's in the news concerning a mark in football history coming up later on. And if you look at the YouTube, Facebook posting I did, or my own Kim Peterson Facebook page posting, you can get a little tease for that, just for the record, if you feel like it. 342, Kim, Pete, and Flounder. Birthday quick includes Henry Thomas. Remember that name? Henry Thomas is 53. Henry Thomas was Elliot in E.T., the little boy 53. With a finger, and he's 53.
53.
Elliot.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Flounder?
I said that's how E.T. would say his name, Elliot.
Yeah, E.T., go home. Oh, man. Henry Thomas, 53. And let's see, a quickie. On this day in history, in 1942, the Japanese Imperial Horde wanted revenge for the daring Doolittle raid on Tokyo. So on this day in 42, Japanese developed fire bombs to be dropped by balloons that also dropped anti-personnel bombs, so they tried setting the forests on fire in Oregon and the state of Washington.
It killed a family.
Yeah. But it didn't burn down the forest. They were trying to burn down the whole northwestern corridor, and it didn't work. But they killed, I forgot how many, I don't know how many, but they killed.
It killed a preacher's family who were picnicking, and they walked over to it, and it blew up.
Yeah. But again, who'd have thought Japanese balloons dropping bombs and firebomb stuff on America?
In fact, it was wasn't the only casualty on our shores, on mainland U.S. in World War II?
I believe so. And the other one that was going to be was the German submarine that showed up on the coast in Northeast. But again, that didn't.
And Alaska wasn't a state yet. So.
Right, yeah. Yeah. It's 3:43. Cover Pete and Flounder. 404-741-1230 if you'd like to join us. A debate tomorrow night. I'm very excited about that. And by the way, a couple of things. They're still ticked off. Apparently, Carmela Sidepiece is still angry that they're going to mute the mics when they're not supposed to be talking. And she was afraid, of course, she was hoping that Donald Trump would have the mic on and he'd say something really offensive, and then she could say, "I'm speaking, sir, if you want to talk," whatever. Well, here's the problem for me. If the rule is apparently if the mics are muted and one of the moderators hears Donald Trump saying something, the moderator has the opportunity to tell the audience what he said. So let's see. Carmela's talking. Well, I just want to make sure the economy's better. Hold on a second. Donald Trump just called you a slut. He just called you a tramp and a slut. Okay, continue, please. Well, I wanted to make sure that. Who's to stop that from happening? I mean, did the moderator's going to say what he was saying or what he was doing? Give me a break. I can't wait for this, honestly. And if he doesn't take the high road and just boom, boom, boom on, swipping and flipping and flopping, I can't wait. I just can't wait. And then again, he needs to demand that she start holding news conferences. How could a person running for president not hold a news conference? I don't mean to sit down and chat with your good friends. I mean standing in front of a podium and answering any question for like an hour of anybody asking the question. How could they not demand? Have you heard anybody in the media out there saying, well, she's has an old news conference in 52 days? Has anybody demanded it? If you're, Sigma, what's the Journalism Association and fraternity?
Sigma.
Sigma something or other. Sigma Nu or Sigma Chi, or I don't remember what it was, but I used to be a member of it. But anyway, there's nothing. It's gone. There's no free press. There's no, First Amendment's a joke in America these days. Hold on, 3:45 already. Holy cow, I'm doing such a bad job here. You're going to hear Tom Cotton in a minute. We
can do that now.
Well, let's do this now. Tom Cotton, again, speaking of the media, Tom Cotton turned the tables on Dana Bush once again, talking about guns. He was talking on the State of the Union, talking about the Appalachia High School shooting with the teachers and students killed last week here in Georgia, in Winder. And he had to set the record straight after Dana Badushka tried to make things a little bit different about how much J.D. Vance apparently was saying, well, this is just part of America, get used to it, which was a complete freaking lie. Cut number 5, Flounder.
Do you accept that school shootings like this are just a way of life now?
No, absolutely not. And J.D. Vance doesn't either. He said that he doesn't want them to be a fact of life. And this week, the Associated Press got caught distorting that quote from him so bad that they had to retract it. But here's what we also know about that shooting, even as we're still gathering all the facts. It wasn't as bad as it might have been because there was a police officer on the school premises that was able to neutralize the shooter. Kamala Harris wants to take police officers out of school. She said it in the past.
Again, what we need to do about demilitarizing our schools and taking police officers out of schools.
That's her position. It's not surprising because she's consistently taken positions against law enforcement throughout her career as a San Francisco liberal. If that police officer hadn't been there, Kamala Harris had gotten her way, many more students and teachers might have been killed.
In fact, at Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in 2018, one of the parents who lost a 14-year-old daughter named Alana said was reckless. This woman is a radical. Carmela wants to make schools less safe. Another one lost a 14-year-old daughter named Meadow. It's sickening. My daughter killed because Parkland didn't have enough security. We need more resource officers, not fewer. On and on and on. In fact, even the Babylon Bee, just very, very quickly, has reporting some more quotes from the Associated Press, which tried to make J.D. Vance out that he was a slime bag. The Associated Press has more quotes. The only thing we have is fear itself. Franklin Roosevelt, ladies and gentlemen, is great. Yes, Neil Armstrong, his famous quote, that's one small man, ladies and gentlemen, right there's one little tiny man right there for you. And Wayne Gretzky, the famous, Pete, you'll appreciate this one. Wayne Gretzky's famous comment, you miss 100% of the shots you take. So again, this is just not really, please. 347, Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. It's freaking Monday, man. What do you think? Look out.
Atlanta radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on Extra 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day. We are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions. No former shock jocks. Just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Welcome me for the program. Hey, there we go. 349. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? Happy Monday. 404-741-1230. Saluting the gang at Atlanta Safe House. You know, I'm starting to throw away junk I have in my place just to get rid of it after my daughter Jennifer said, Dad, nobody wants your stuff. Well, okay, fine. But anyway, but some of the stuff they do want, for example, things like they know when I have a safe, because you should get a safe, just like the Kimmer did not have a safe when I retired down in Florida, couldn't find my medical records, and the VA told me to shove it. Well, that's my own fault. Don't be like the Kimmer. Get yourself a safe. You know, the big gun safes, they're not just big empty holes with surrounded by steel. They have nooks and crannies and shelving units. They can design anything you want inside. And again, it's not just those great big safes make you feel like a banker with a spinning wheel and everything. They have pistol safes and security safes and business safes and jewelry safes. Check them all out on the web at atlantasafehouse.com. But even better, if you're up in the area of Nackworth on Industrial Boulevard, they love for people just to stop in. Even if you're not in the market for a safe right now, take a look at it, and you might change your mind. Because, again, if you're trying to find my kids try and find my medical records if something happens, or my living will. I mean, what if that happens? Something happens and stuff like that. What would you do? Seriously, check it out. Always on sale. And guess what? From now to the rest of the year, Atlanta Safe House will pay the sales tax. You don't have to worry about it. Atlanta Safe House paying the sales tax for the rest of the year. By the way, there's also still summer sales going on right now. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. Check it out. They got what you're looking for. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Foundation repair isn't pretty, but at Atlanta Ramjack, we make it easy. If you notice any cracks in your foundation, they need to be addressed as soon as possible to reduce additional costs that come with the repair. Why call us? Foundation repair is all we do. We have highly trained estimators that will thoroughly evaluate your home and only recommend what is needed. If you are experiencing foundation problems, please contact us at ramjack.com/Atlanta or call us at 770-502-8881.
Hey everybody, it's Neil Bortz, an actual attorney spokesperson for Van Sant Law. Notice the heavy traffic out there? Yep, school's back in session. Things can happen. Sometimes people aren't that careful. Maybe an accident. But David Van Sant, he's there to help smooth the way for you if somebody you love gets hurt. Call Van Sant Law at 855-GA-INJURY. 855-GA-INJURY. First call after 9/11, Van Sant Law. 855-GA-INJURY.
What's up, Atlanta? It's Ben Burnett, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show. Each and every weekend right here on Extra 106.3, we unpack all the week's events. We talk about all the issues with a local Atlanta-based flavor. You can catch me each and every weekend, Saturdays at 2 and Sundays at noon. If you ever miss an episode, you can go to the podcast park or wherever you download all of your content, and I'll be right there. Thanks for listening to the Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Butler Snow.
Americold Logistics LLC seeks a senior data analyst, job code NB0824 in Atlanta, Georgia, and other unanticipated locations throughout U.S. Assist Americold's business leaders in their decision-making process via the generation and interpretation of data. Requires a master's degree in industrial and systems engineering, mechanical engineering, or related field, plus 1 year of experience in job or as a BIA performing similar duties. Offered salary is $90,958 to $112,736 per year. Email cover letter and resume to Barbara Bishop, Global Mobility Partner at barbarabishop@americold.com.
Oops, no, it's all good. We're good. Everything's fine. 352. That's right, baby. We're just keeping it crunk. What it is.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that
Give me some whack.
my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never
Coolio, baby.
that didn't deserve it.
Oh, I think he said a bad word there. 1995, Coolio, featuring LV, scored his first U.S. #1 single with Gangsta's Paradise. The song sampled the chorus of the 1976 Stevie Wonder song Pastime Paradise and featured in the 1995 movie Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer. Coolio was awarded a Grammy for Gangsta's Paradise. I don't know what they meant by Gangsta's Paradise, as if they, I don't know, couldn't wait for it. Anyway, 353. Give her Pete and Flounder. Our birthday list includes, let's see, it's Michael Bublé. Michael Bublé, blah. The singer, the torch song type singer guy. Michael Bublé is 49 years old today. And on this day in history, 490 BC. It was the battle of the invading Persians against the civilians and army of Athens, the Battle Marathon. 490 BC, it was then an ancient Greek courier ran from the battle scene back home to deliver the news of the victory, proclaiming, quote, "Hail, we are the winners," 26 miles, and then he collapsed and died right there.
Yep.
And he ran to the thing and back again to tell them they won and died right there.
Fidipity.
Yeah. Actually, you know, I mean, in fact, I looked this up this morning about 5:30 or something, and they say Philippides was the one was the very famous runner, but they think it was a different courier who actually did the running. But Philippides is the one known for it, so they think they give him the credit, but they actually think it was somebody else. Again, who knows? It was 490 BC for crying out loud. Anyway, 454. Hell, I ran 2 marathons, 26-mile marathons. I'll tell you what, I hurt myself both times. The first time, I blew up my knee ligaments, and I had to run one-legged hopping for 13 miles. And man, and then the second marathon I ran about 4 months later, and that one I hurt both legs, and so I had to double hobble. I've got video. I mean, it was brutal. In fact, the second one was in Chicago for ABC, and they had me on TV. I was mic'd up, and they had a guy following me to do interviews while I was running the marathon. And I'm sitting there and just a nag. It was brutal. Anyway, it took me 4 hours to hobble 26 miles without stopping. Oh, jeez. Anyway, 355. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, let's do this, Flounder. What the hell? Oh, we got a Flounder's funny, too. But how long is this Proud American thing? I forgot to ask you, man. I'm sorry. Do you have any idea? Cut number...
Which one are we talking about?
Cut number 3.
3 is about just over 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah, we can play it now.
Let's do it now. If you were a proud American, what would life be like under President Carmela Sidepiece right here?
Proof of political party, proof of diversity.
Are you serious?
We already have 2 white guys in there, okay? That's our limit.
Okay, I'm Jewish.
What do you think this is, 2021? You're going to have to be way more oppressed than that to get in here. You got like a 23andMe test results?
Yes.
0.000027 Native American. Why didn't you just tell me that? You got an anti-racist card? All right, now I just got to check your white guilt score. 9.7, wow, not bad, man. Not bad. Just got to scan you for male toxicity. Okay, quick set of questions. Would you have sex with a trans woman?
Yes.
Can men have babies?
Yes.
What are your pronouns?
He, him, they, them.
Do all lives matter?
Yeah, no.
Quote from Brown City to prove you can hang with gay people.
Yes, queen.
I'm sorry?
Yes!
Well, that's better. How many statues have you toppled this month?
9.
Do you support the police?
No.
Are all Trump supporters racist?
Yes.
How many abortions have you paid for?
5.
I'm going to need to see your punch card. All right, 4 more and your 10th one's free. How many people have you canceled this month?
18, 19, including my grandmother.
Racist?
No, she still likes Louis C.K.
Even worse. Ever been Me Too'd?
No.
Me 3?
No.
Me 4?
Nope.
Me 5?
Nope.
Me 7? Me 69? All right, I'm going to show you some photos of women holding power jobs. Tell me what word comes to mind.
Brave. So brave.
That's not bad. I need proof of black friends.
Pictures of women.
Okay, how many pronouns are there?
92,600. 27.
All right, and finally, I need you to recite the full sexuality acronym.
LGBTQIAONM. That's sometimes why.
Z backslash
yes.
question mark greater than
Carmella,
sign less than sign squiggly mark
the
a peace sign at sign
of the
hammer
United
and sickle
States.
poop emo-
3:58 with a Kimmer Pete Flauta. We got time for a funny? I blew the whole segment there.
We got one.
So we got a little
right
something here just to
we go.
wind up the hour with.
Did have my favorite thing happen recently on a flight. I was flying from where I'm from in Seattle to where I live in San Diego. All right, it's about a 2.5 hour flight, and the girl next to me got out her journal, and I was like, "Well, this has my full attention." And then she wrote at the top of the list, things to do before 40, and she underlined it, and I was like, thank you, Jesus. I cannot wait to see this list so that I can judge this person for their dreams and ambitions. I'm so excited to see this list. And the first thing that she wrote on there was to rescue a dog, and I was like, all right, that's a good one. The second thing that she wrote on the list was to live overseas. And I was like, oh my, like, that's, who's gonna watch the dog? You're a bad planner, you know? And the third one was to own a home by the ocean. I was like, you are ambitious, because you are currently in the middle seat of a Southwest flight. You're really trying to climb the ladder right now. You're trying to go from boarding group C to a home by the sea. Incredible, all right? And I was really rooting for her at that point. I wanted her to make it, and then she took out her phone to take a picture of the list, and the phone was an Android. I'm like, oh, you'll never make it.
Who's that, Flounder?
Dustin Nickerson.
I love it. Coming up on 4 o'clock, Kimmer Pete and Flounder. How's your Monday? Why don't you join us? There's something I don't know.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
A shooter remains on the loose in Kentucky. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Our helicopters flying over, drones flying over, dogs.
State Police Trooper Scotty Pennington on day 3 of the manhunt in a heavily wooded area for Joseph Couch, the 32-year-old who served as a combat engineer in the Army Reserves, is now accused of opening fire on a highway south of Lexington.
Police say Saturday morning he went to a local gun shop and legally bought an AR-15 style rifle and around 1,000 rounds of ammo. That evening, Couch climbed down a cliff overlooking the I-75 highway a few miles outside the small town of London, Kentucky, and started shooting at cars on the interstate. Investigators say he fired as many as 20 to 30 rounds, hitting at least 12 cars and 5 people.
Fox's Garrett Tenney. State Police also announcing a $5,000 reward. The man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students, Brian Koberger, wins a fight to have the trial moved.
Judge John Judge has granted the defense motion to move the trial from Latah County. It is a big win for the defense, which has argued from the beginning that Koberger could not get a fair trial in Moscow, which is the college town where the murders occurred in 2022 and only has about 30,000 people.
Fox's Dan Springer, the judge also citing security, staffing, and space. One victim's family calls the decision incredibly disappointing, adding they've always felt the current judge favored the defense in his rulings. Thousands of residents become wildfire evacuees east of L.A., where flames are ripping through the San Bernardino National Forest.
We worked so hard to get this house, and just the thought of just coming back to nothing, you know.
An air quality alert also issued from smoke and excessive heat. Tropical storm Francine intensifying in the Gulf of Mexico. Forecasters warning of a possible landfall Wednesday in Louisiana. Wall Street rallies, the Dow up 484 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? It's the gentle sound of a waterfall on your hike. And if you were here, you'd take a deep breath of fresh air if you weren't so winded. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the bugs you wipe from your headlights are all the nature you need. So if you ride, see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes. All from the great indoors.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Jerry Paget, the second enlisted in the U.S. Navy and deployed multiple times to Iraq and Afghanistan until Jerry was catastrophically injured in an improvised explosive device blast. Now, Jerry received a new smart home thanks to our friends at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Now, the home is in the foundation's Let Us Do Good Village. It's in Florida, and Jerry now lives more independently thanks to the specially adaptive technologies. Commit to $11 a month, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Oh my goodness, this sounds like a... Oh, here we go. I was going to say, it doesn't sound like Nirvana, not that I would know Nirvana. But in 1992, they're Krist Novoselic. I may have mispronounced that.
Yeah.
He played
Novoselic.
Novoselic, of course. The Kristinator. I used to call him Chris Mad, Christy, Krista Rooney, Kristamino, Krista Burndo.
I don't think you called him Chris.
I don't think I called him. 1992, Nirvana's this guy knocked himself unconscious during the MTV Music and Video Awards show. The idiot threw his guitar up in the air and it landed on his head and knocked him the hell out.
Yep.
I mean, that had to be funny as hell. I mean,
there's a video. There's video.
Boing, clank, funk. Well, whatever. Rock and roll, baby. 404. Birthday list includes Eric Stone Street. Cameron on Modern Family. Eric Stone Street is 53. Now, is he the actual gay one, or is it the other one is the actually gay one?
Eric Stone Street's a big Chiefs fan. He is totally straight, but he played the big guy.
Right, the big guy. But I think the other one is actually gay, isn't he? Is the little redhead guy?
Is.
Yeah. But Eric Stone Street is not. And I remember seeing him at is it Chiefs? Big fan, Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, tonight Monday Night Football. What is it like? San Diego or something? I forgot who's playing.
Jets are playing, aren't they? The Aaron Rodgers.
We'll see now. Yeah. What do you think about that? Are you excited about that? Gotta be excited about see what's going to happen to him. You know, I mean,
he's so finished. It's just going to be.
You think so?
Remember what? It's probably going to be maybe better than Kirk Cousins yesterday. It'd have to be, wouldn't it?
You know, I heard
coming off Achilles.
Yeah, I heard one commentator say that he looks great and he looks like he's still a superstar, and they're totally confident that he's going to pick up right where he left off.
Okay, well, he was totally healthy with Green Bay.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Yeah, I know. Anyway, holy crap of sports coming up now. We got a lot of sports stuff to talk about here. And again, the Falcons and boy, talk about reaction. My phone blew up with jeez. Oh, you're sorry. And let's see, this day in history. Let's see what we got here with the thing. Let's see. Oh, this is kind of weird. 1919, a hydrofoil set a water speed record in 1919 in Nova Scotia. The hydrofoil reached over 70 miles an hour on the water. It was designed by a guy named Casey Baldwin, along with the two chief designers, Alexander Graham Bell and his wife, Mabel. Alexander Graham Bell designed the world record-setting speed hydrofoil in 1919. Holy cow. Anyway, and apparently Thomas Edison found out about it and had him I wanted to have him killed because he wanted the money for Thomas Edison instead. 406, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741-1230. What's that?
If I'm trying to set a world boat record, I don't think the choppy waters of the North
Nova
Atlantic
Scotia, the Irish Sea or something.
is the best place to do that.
I know. I don't understand. Well, maybe it was different in 1919 or whatever. 406-404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. And let's see. Bizarre. Just a bizarre thing. I got a whole bunch of bizarre things. If I don't get them out of my head, they're going to stay with me all night long, and I'll never get to sleep, which I don't anyway. I was watching a TV commercial over the weekend for Smalls cat food or Smalls pet food. Okay, SMALLS, like Smalls, you're killing me. Smalls pet. I never heard of it before, but it was on national TV, so they got money to spend on national advertising. Mm-hmm. Smalls cat food, and it featured the flavor ground bird cat food. So, as though your cat reads the label, ooh, that's what I want. I don't know. That's the damnedest thing I ever saw. I couldn't imagine. All right, 407, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going?
We're talking beaks?
I don't know. I mean, I wonder if it's really birds ground up.
It'd have to be.
Oh, and by the way, let's do this here. Speaking of birds, this was pretty. In fact, I want to get the meme. Pete found a meme on this, too. Hold on a second. Oh, I got, let's see if the figure out. Okay. Oops. Pete mentioned update. Harvey Rapstein is in the hospital for chest pains or something. But first, this quick update story in Springfield, Ohio. In Springfield, Ohio, the little town wanted a whole bunch of immigrants to come in to help their economy and do the jobs that all the local residents did not want to do. Blue-collar jobs were unenthusiastic about for the local residents, so Haitians were brought in. They were in the country legally, but they all started moving to the little town of Springfield, Ohio. Within a few years, the town of 50,000 now had 20,000 new immigrants. So, 50% higher population based on Haitian immigrants. Well, all of a sudden is putting a strain on medical services, the educational system, and now this. One report after another, all of a sudden, the influx of Haitian immigrants shows that they are going to the public parks, capturing the ducks, ripping their heads off right there in front of God and everybody, and then taking them home to eat.
Yep.
And I heard an audio of a video from earlier in the show before us where some guy was videotaping a guy killing cats.
Oh, yeah. They got a rotisserie on the streets of New York City with 6 or 7 cats on it, spinning it. Yeah.
And in Springfield, Ohio, they're saying, the good news was that there were some empty homes. Nobody wanted to live there, so they put the Haitian immigrants in there. And now there's a housing crisis because the landlords figured, oh, my God, we'll get the immigrants in here because they'll pay more instead of the low-income locals on the government subsidy. So all of a sudden we got hey, goodbye, girls, right, sweeties? We got that's Amanda and Bella. And so we got all of a sudden now in a little town of Springfield, Ohio, they're eating the pigeons and the birds and ducks at the local parks. It's just not good. And somebody's got a meme now, and the meme is a photograph of Donald Trump kissing a duck.
Oh, there's several memes now, all done by AI. They have him in the swamp holding a duck with an AR-15 in his other hand. I'll protect you. They have him with a cat under his arms running away from Haitian zombies.
He says, Trump says, I love you. I would never let the Haitians eat you. And he was a president. When he was a president, we had the best ducks. And they were like so happy, man. Tremendously happy ducks. Everybody was saying it. The best ducks ever.
We got breaking news here.
Here we go.
Oh, my God.
What's up?
The Babylon Bee reporting that Bluey, the cartoon dog that every kid, including my great-nephews and nieces, love, Bluey, reported missing after Haitian migrants move in next door. Bluey is missing.
Unbelievable. 410, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. A little more politics. This was pretty funny. Cut number 2 coming up here, Flounder. Donald Trump may not have Taylor Swift in his corner. And so far, she's pretty much stayed silent, which I think is probably smart, but we'll see. I don't think she needs to do anything. Everybody knows. But either way, Donald Trump doesn't have her in his corner, but he may have a big fan in the Rocket Man, even if not politically. Elton John was asked about Rocket Man, and Donald Trump. Cut 2, sir.
I know that you're not a supporter of Donald Trump's. He loves your music. How did it feel when he took the lyrics to Rocket Man and he used it as a nickname for Kim Jong-un, and then he gave Kim Jong-un
I laughed. I thought it was brilliant. I just thought, good on you, Donald. I'm the Rocket Man, yeah. Donald's always been a fan of mine, and he's been to my concerts many, many times. So, I've always been friendly towards him, and I thank him for his support. Yeah, when he did that, I just thought it was hilarious. It made me laugh.
He gave Kim one of your CDs and signed it. That was in one of the books about him, because Kim, I guess, didn't know the song. So,
what's that?
He gave Kim Jong-un the signed CD.
Yes.
Which
yeah.
he'd never heard of it.
I know, because he hasn't heard of me, Kim Jong-un. I'd be very surprised if he had. I've never toured North Korea, and I have no intention of doing so. But I thought it was a light moment, and it was fun.
There you go. Elton John talking about Rocket Man. I mean, remember the first time that Trump called Kim Jong-un Rocket Man? I mean, it was freaking hysterical.
But you know what? That's what liberals used to be like. I can disagree with you totally, and you're politically and all that, but you're still a human being. If you do something funny, I'll laugh.
You know, I heard Alan Dershowitz being interviewed today again on the show before us, and again is another great example. He said I'm not a conservative Republican. I'm an old-fashioned Democrat, and the party left me. He said half of my family's left me. My friends have left me, not because I've changed, but the Democrat Party's not the same Democrat Party. And again, the point is exactly taken. It used to be Democrats were in favor of unions and guaranteed things and welfare and stuff like that, just basic stuff, and the Republicans are more in favor of management and trying to everybody be an individual. But that was it. I mean, it wasn't all this horrible gender stuff, and everything has just gotten so freaking out of control. I don't know how the far left hijacked the entire Democrat Party. It's got to be because where are the men? Who's the strongest Democrat we've had running the Democrat Party in the last 50 years? We had any tough guys? I mean, LBJ
Hillary
was
Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all women. It's run by liberal white women, basically.
That's right. And the fear from the men who have disappeared in America, basically. 413, Kevin Pete and Flounder, how's it going? More on her policies coming up. Also, wait to hear the latest on what would it be like living under Carmela. And the school shooter update, too. And cross-dressing guy does something bad with his bad parts. It's all coming up. Kevin Pete and Flounder. I got it. There we go.
Time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
One of my Facebook followers, I don't do Twitter anymore, somebody took the Talkmaster handle, sent me an article from National Review, but all I got was the first paragraph and the headline, Professor, if you read to your kids, you're unfairly disadvantaging others. It's called bedtime story privilege. According to a professor at the University of Warwick in England, parents who read to their kids should be thinking about how they are unfairly disadvantaging other people's children by doing so. Oh, how I looked for that article in National Review. I couldn't come up with it. Then it occurred to me, I don't need it. I know where this is going. I've been hearing about this and talking about this for 30 years. It's the everybody ought to have an equal amount of stuff syndrome. In the modern vernacular, it's called equity. I've warned you about that word. I know most of you are listening, but Gen Z idiots, millennials, progressives, Democrats, they have no idea what I'm talking about. Equity. Give you some example. Take a school. 30% black kids, 70% white kids. Punishments for misbehavior in those schools should be divided just that way, equitably. 30% punishment administered to black kids, 70% to white kids, no matter who is committing the infractions. Oh, same for jails. If the population of our country is 14% black, then no more than 14% of the inmates in our jails and prisons should be black. That's equity. And this professor is saying, if you read to your kids, they're going to have an educational advantage. They can use that to earn more money, to advance further in business and industry. Unfair. Everybody ought to have an equal amount of stuff. Be very afraid, folks. Pay attention. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Tug with election season in full swing and football on everybody's mind. Don't forget that fall's just around the corner. As those leaves start to drop, your gutters and roof might need some attention. Southern Exteriors has been protecting homes across the Southeast. Whether you need gutter cleaning, want to add gutter covers, or both, now's the time to get it done. Plus, with any cleaning job, you'll get a free roof inspection. Call Southern Exteriors today at 8779-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
What's up, Atlanta? It's Ben Burnett, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show. Each and every weekend, right here on Extra 106.3, we unpack all the week's events. We talk about all the issues with a local Atlanta-based flavor. You can catch me each and every weekend, Saturdays at 2 and Sundays at noon. If you ever miss an episode, you can go to the podcast park or wherever you download all of your content, and I'll be right there. Thanks for listening to the Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Butler Snow.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Hi, this is Ben.
And I'm Walt from Horizon Background Screening. The companies that typically use us are law firms. Any business that has a problem with an employee will often hire us if they need some sort of investigation done or some kind of background check.
We're going to help you hire the right person on the front end so that you don't spend all this time with training and all those kind of things and then realize that wasn't a good hire.
The best way for people to find us is on our website. A quick Google search of Horizon Background Screening or look at us at horizonscreening.com.
There we go. 420, how you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. With Pete Davis and Flounder. New Kids on the Block. Look out. Yeah, these boy bands were a big hit. And a little scandal here and there once in a while, unfortunately. 1989, New Kids on the Block scored their second #1 hit single with Hangin' Tough. Was also #1 in Britain in 1990 the next year. The group went to #1 on the album chart the same day with Hangin' Tough in 1989. New Kids on the Block. Yeah, okay. That's, good stuff here. Teenage girls love those people. 421, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Our birthday list includes Dee Dee Sharp. Dee Dee Sharp. Mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes, oh my Lord. Dee Dee Sharp is 79 years old. Dee Dee Sharp. When I was 16, my best friend at the time Prep school buddy went to Kent. Al Williams and I got a job working as kitchen boys at a summer camp on Cape Cod. Thinking that was one of the great summers of all time. Not really. In fact, we bought this old 1949 Plymouth for $250. 4 of us chipped in on it. We bought this old car, and before we got the license plates for it, we drove it into town to do something. And when we come back, we ran out of gas, and so we got a gas can. I carried the gas can back to the car, and since I said I carried the gas can, so I'm driving the car back, I said, okay, fine. So I drove around the corner, got pulled over by the cops because we had ditched the car in the woods, and they saw it had no plate on it, so they were just waiting for us like idiots. And so I went to jail that night. My parents had to come to court and all. I lost my license for a year. And the reason I mention it is because Dee Dee Sharp was playing on the radio, and the song on the rock and roll station we were listening to on Cape Cod was dedicated. It was from a New York station. It was Cousin Brucey, I think it was, or one of those guys on the New York station, and he said, this is dedicated to Kim Peterson on the Cape from all of his friends back home, and it was Dee Dee Sharp mashed potato time. And when I saw her birthday today, it reminded me that's when I went to jail when I was 16 years old and lost my license for a year. Anyway, thank you, Dee Dee. Like it's her fault. 423. 404-741-1230. 4 o'clock hour, sponsored by our friends at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer Safes. It's true. You need a safe. Come on. Don't be like me when I didn't have one in Florida. Lost all my stuff. Jeez, give me a break. It's my fault. Don't make it your fault. Atlanta Safe House on the web and atlantasafehouse.com. And they have a showroom in Ackworth, by the way. Stop up and say howdy. 423. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. I got more power. Oh, let's do this, Flounder. Let's talk about this green card. This is really cool idea. Extra 106.3 has the opportunity to offer you a 2024 green card. It's for golfers. And by the way, ladies, if your husband or boyfriend's a golfer, this could be a great deal. Think about maybe like a present for something or other, whatever. A 2024 green card for golfers. It's your opportunity to play 6 premier courses with a cart. And you pay a one-time fee for the 6 courses of only $249. It would normally cost you $600. You get it for $249. We're talking playing at Mystery Valley, Stone Mountain Golf Club, Sequoia National, Country Club of Gwinnett, Cherokee Run Golf Club, and Heritage Golf Links. All 6 courses with a cart for $249. Get the extra golf green card right now. They'll sell out. Extra106.3.com. And that's a heck of a deal. 404-741-1230. How you doing? Happy Monday. Okay, here we go. The Harris campaign has finally come out with a policy page. They have a promise to cut taxes for middle-class families by ensuring that no Democrats earning less than $400,000 a year will pay a dime in taxes. The website touts a plan to give 100 million working and middle-class families a free house and a car if they came from illegal aliens status. Let's see. They have, under each policy section, she has a subsection called We Hate Donald Trump because he believes in Project 2025 agenda, which, of course, is a lie. We just heard a commercial. Our radio station and all the other radio stations and TV stations playing commercials that say that Donald Trump wants to cut Social Security. He wants to eliminate public education. He wants to cancel all public schools from kindergarten to high school. I mean, one thing after another, and it's all lies. Ban abortions forever. I mean, it's everything they say about it is a total freaking lie. Apparently, Carmela wants to have she wants to have a border wall sealed with a gator moat of alligators in case you try to sneak across. She wants to execute all illegal aliens. She wants to nuke Hamas, and she wants to make sure in schools that all students will have to carry guns too. So she's really changed her attitude here pretty frequently, apparently. On fracking, this is apparently new fracking rules. Carmela totally believes in fracking with a couple of specific changes. For example, you're allowed to frack, but you can't make any noise. They're the new noise pollution guidelines. Also, you cannot use any water in the process because that would deplete the American water supply. Also, you're not allowed to have any broken rocks or pieces of stone in the area. Also, to do the fracking, you can only use the electric fracking thingies. It has to be electric fracking thingies only. And if you want to be hired for the American new fracking policy, you have to be non-white, non-binary, blind, transitioning cripple. And then you can get to the top of the line line, apparently, which is, pretty sweet. 426, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let's see. Oh, this was pretty cool. A group called Mad Liberals, cut number 4 here, Flounder. A group called Mad Liberals has come out with a little bit of a soundbite with some musical accompaniment, which reminds you of something particular. And whenever you hear this woman's voice, this is what I think of, and I wonder if you'd think of the same thing, too.
So
Flounder?
you know how those lids are, because this is, well, I'm just going to speak, okay? So this is it. So you know how those lids on those Starbucks cups, they're white, right? And so if you wear lipstick, they get all over the lid. And so then I find myself in meetings if I'm the only woman, and that's kind of it. So I keep taking the lid off and having my cup out so that I don't have that big lipstick mark on the lid. So I said, can we do something about the color of the lid?
That's her. That's not AI.
So that was that conversation.
That's the real woman. That's the person that you want to be your latex salesman. Oh, my God.
Is she going to start cackling and giggling when she's talking to Putin, or is she thinking that's going to...
I mean, seriously, I can't believe there isn't just one after another montage of just that horrible, I mean, I don't know what to call it, just lack of character, or I don't know. I mean,
seriousness.
There's nothing there.
There's no gravitas there. There's no content there. There's nothing there. She's nothing.
Honestly, I mean, it's just astounding. 428. Here's another astounding thing. Flounder, let's do cut number 6. Senator Raphael Weifnacher, who, again, by the way, all you naysayers, the man was never charged with trying to murder his wife. There was an investigation, tried to run her over with a car, but that was not proven beyond a shadow of a doubt or anything else. So to say that he tried to kill his wife is really not correct. The fact that he tried to run out the back door when the process server showed up to get him to pay his child support, well, that's a whole other issue, And the fact that he hates cops and hates military people and white people and stuff like that is one thing. Well, here's Senator Raphael Weifnacher now talking about Carmela Sidepiece's policy of confiscating weapons and calling it some sort of a buyback program. Number 6, Flounder. The actual cut of the person.
Should she also be, in your opinion, supporting a mandatory gun buyback program?
Listen, we're not going to be able to get where we need to go without action in Congress.
Is that a yes?
We've got to pass some laws to deal with this. Now, I was heartened by the fact that 2 years ago we finally did a gun safety law, the Safer Communities Act, and it was the first gun safety law we passed in 30 years. 30 years. And it was modest, but it did save lives. But clearly, in the wake of what happened just the other day in Winder, Georgia, it's not enough. And the least we can do is move forward on the bipartisan spaces where ordinary people agree. Clearly, there's a disconnect between what the people, the American people, want and what they're able to get out of their government. Again, 87% of Americans believe in background checks. And yet I hear politicians say that it's not guns who kill people, it's people who kill people.
Well,
and yet
true.
we don't even want to know who those people are. We won't even support.
Senator, just yes or no, though. Should she support the mandatory buyback program? Just a yes or no.
Listen, look, as a pastor, I've done
as a liar and a fraud.
Buyback programs. You can pick this issue or that issue. But I think that, again, there's not one single thing that will make all of this go away.
These freaking people.
Mandatory.
I mean, even you got to give her credit. Even the girl reporter from the Liberal tried to get him to make a yes or no answer. They just won't do it. And that's what's going to happen at the debate. Trump's going to try to make her say yes or no, and she's not going to do it. And by the way, she's been hiding for 5 days without being seen in public, being grilled about how she has a Trump impersonator dressing in a blonde wig, looking like him and talking. It's like, wait a step, you're the worst vice president ever.
I wonder if it's Shane Gillis.
How funny would that be? 431, give her Pete and Flounder. Look out.
It's time for your Georgia headlines presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Walt Emmer, the CEO of Waffle House, Atlanta Police Foundation Board of Trustee member, and Georgia Tech alumnus, passed away at the age of 58. Emmer had overseen the operations of Waffle House since 2012. The circumstances surrounding his death have not been released. DeKalb County firefighters responded to a house fire in Panthersville overnight. The home located on Cohasset Lane was fully engulfed in flames when firefighters arrived around 1:30 this morning. The fire destroyed the home, which partially collapsed. Investigators say no one was injured in the fire. Fire crews did rescue an animal, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Pittsburgh's Chris Boswell kicked 6 field goals to power the Steelers to an 18-10 victory over the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins went 16 of 26 for 155 yards with 2 interceptions, ending hopes of any kind of comeback.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 1063 on social media or download the Extra 1063 app.
Hey, it's Mike with Atlanta Painting Company. And this fall, we invite you to transform your home. Our expert team brings color to life with top quality paints and flawless finishes, and leading the industry with our color consultants. Whether it's a fresh coat of paint for one room or an entire exterior makeover, the Atlanta Painting Company has you covered. So, trust the local pros for reliable, professional service when you need to revive your home or business. Find us at atlantapaintingcompany.com or call us at 1-800-PAINTING. That's atlantapaintingcompany.com. The Atlanta Painting Company, the painters you can trust.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
You know, we all complain about the internet, but sometimes we should remind ourselves that it has made life so much easier in many, many ways. And let me give you an example. Blinds.com. Tanya and I remember pushy salespeople coming to our house, waiting all day for them, usually late, usually very pushy. Blinds.com has created a completely virtual consultation, free sample sent right to your door. You never have to deal with a salesperson at your home, and you're never waiting. Whether you're a DIY warrior or you prefer to use their professional installation services, you can count on Blinds.com to deliver top quality window treatments, and you can get unlimited custom window treatments installed with just one low cost. It's all at Blinds.com. There's never any hidden fees or showroom markups. The price you see on the website is the price you pay. Ordering online can be scary, but not with Blinds.com. 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy with the style or the color or the fit, they'll work to make it right. Shop Blinds.com right now. Save 50% site-wide, 50% off at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
All right, here we go. Now get off of there, you dirty, rotten rat. This freaking New York Post. I'm hitting the X for this, trying to block my reading this thing. Jesus, get off of there. You dirty, rotten. Oh, God, I hate these people. I hate all of them. 435, how you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. You try to read the New York Post thing, and all of a sudden they put these freaking ads blocking everything else with a little X on it, but it wouldn't. You hit the X about 9 times, and it won't go away. Sorry. 1972. Slade. Never heard of him. Slade, #1 in the British chart with Mama, We're All Crazy Now. That was the Slade Group's third #1 hit from their album Slade. S-L-A-Y-E-D, is it? We're all crazy now, baby. 436. You've come to the right place. Sorry. Our birthday list includes Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler is 50. Well, I wrote over it with my ink pen here. Adam Sandler's 58. There you go. I tell you, I've been better. 2012. An important day in history for Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Ryan Reynolds married the Gossip Girl star Blake Lively on this day in 2012. They've been married for 12 years. They have 3 kids. So 12, 13 years. So he's still healthy, and she hasn't found anybody better yet. So that's great. Ryan and Blake Lively. I think they have what looks like one of the great marriages of all time. They look like they have fun together and goof around, and are just happy. They just seem happy.
There's hope.
Yeah. Well, no, not hope. No, I wouldn't say that. Silly rabbit. What are you freaking crazy? Oh, my God. 437. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Oh, just this is the whole story I was trying to get. Hold on a second. I got it here. About Carmela. If you think she's not serious about what she meant before, here we go. News just came in. Carmela Sidepiece vows to grant amnesty to migrants who illegally cross border. Vice President Sidepiece vows on her long-awaited new campaign website to establish an earned pathway to citizenship. She knows our immigration system's broken, needs comprehensive reform, includes strong border security and an earned pathway to citizenship. Strong border security, my ass. What they're talking about, again, every time they ask the question and they said, is the border secure? Is the border secure? They never should have asked that question. They should have asked, is the border closed? Because every time they said, is the border secure? They said, yes, absolutely. Nobody's invaded us with machine guns and tanks. We've secured the border from invading armies. Yeah, nobody's dropped an atomic bomb on the border, so obviously we're secure. Idiots. Ask them, is the border's closed? Then if it's closed, how come all those 18 million people got over here? Parachutes? Anyway, so it says now she wants a strong border security. My ass, she wants a border security plan. She's faking it. She has the pathway to citizenship. It's what they've wanted all along. And again, please don't forget this. They called you a racist. They said you didn't want little brown people coming into America to become Democrats. They called you a conspiracy theorist. They claimed you were complaining that the Democrats were trying to change the culture. Shame on you, you white supremacist, racist bastard Republican conservatives. You basket of deplorables, which, by the way, is on date in history on this day, too, with that phrase. But again, remember, that's what they claimed. That we didn't want the border to be closed because we were racist. Simple as that. Anyway, and she says she's going to do it. Her new plan now. They finally come out with a policy plan. In fact, hold on a second. Oh, somebody's been texting me on weird stuff. I don't know what it is. Her weird policy plan, for example, the Babylon Bee has a couple of the policies in it, getting rid of the dividers between urinals. Apparently, the yellow-bellied Tim Walsh, False Walsh, was a big proponent of that one. Oh, they're going to have a new tax on money that you saved by buying something on sale. So if they find out how much you saved, they're going to tax the savings you got of the money that you paid tax on. Let's see. Oh, they're going to institute special joy camps where people without sufficient joy will be able to go and get some joy, which, golly, they're going to require proof of transgenderism for assault rifle purchases. They're going to make sure that outlaw all interviews with the president. Won't be able to do that again. Again, this is their freaking policy. Hard to freaking believe, these people. And again, she's talking about trying to make the middle class better by price fixing. When's that ever worked?
Her main focus is going to be the middle class. They've done nothing but to try and destroy the middle class. Yeah. The last thing they want is a powerful middle class, because that's a power that can be used against them. They want everybody dependent on them, the Democrats and the government. The last thing they want is a strong middle class.
And they finally put a policy page on their website. Most of it concerns Donald Trump. Trump's economic plans would also trigger a recession by mid-2025. They're going to blame Donald Trump for a recession.
They say he's going to raise taxes. That Donald Trump's going to raise taxes.
And she's the one going to raise taxes on the rich, by the way, and raise the capital gains tax. She's going to tax you on stuff that hasn't been valued yet. Potential future value. I mean, this is. And by the way, did I hear correctly? Hold on, I got to get rid of this stupid thing. Oh, I hate this thing. Stupid lousy thing on a thing there. Sorry. Anyway, modern technology. It's all good for us. No, I forgot. I told you what I was going to say. Oh crap! What was that? We were just talking about taxes or something. Oh crap! Oh crap! Hold on, I'm going to get it. Wait a minute. Donald Trump taxes. Go to taxes on the income and stuff. Oh, crap, I hate this. Damn it. Oh, God, I hate when I do this. So I was going to make a serious point about her plans. Oh, I know what it was. How is it I'm sorry, it takes a minute. How is it possible that the stock market went up hundreds of points today? How is it possible that the people, saying, wait a minute, every time they come out with an economic plan by the Democrats, you'd think everything would go down 500 points automatically because it's going to be bad for America. What's the matter with these people?
Because it's all about a viewpoint, and Wall Street is no longer really tied to what's good for middle America. It really, outside of a 401k, which is big, but Wall Street basically does what it wants, and it really isn't affected by middle America anymore. Nor do they care about it. Well, they proved that in 2008.
I mean, you would think the only economist I've heard condemning even the very idea of the things they're trying to pull forward has been on Fox. I mean, I just can't believe that there are people who are willing to not criticize this as the death knell for America. And again, her policy has just said they're going to blame Donald Trump for a recession coming in 2025 because of Donald Trump. His economic plans would trigger a recession if you elect Trump.
We already know what will happen under him. We had it for 4 years. We know.
We had the greatest economy this country's ever had. We were completely free with energy. We were energy independent. The black community, the Hispanic community, the females, gays, everybody, every demographic was thriving under the Trump economy. COVID hit. That's not got anything to do with Trump's economic policies. And again, he's going to opt for freedom. I just can't believe these people don't understand and I don't know anything about economics, but I sure know what's better for me between her plans and his. Although we can't believe anything she's going to say anyhow. So I don't know what her plans are. All right, 443. Garen, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Quick update on the school shooting business, just because it's real and it's true and it happened. The grandfather of the 14-year-old school shooter says that his dad, Colin Gray, faces 4 counts of manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder. The father of the 14-year-old for giving the son the rifle, a rifle, with one shot, one full rifle. So the father faces 4 counts of manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder. His ex-father-in-law, says the 14-year-old was driven by his father to do what he did. The kid's 14-year-old's grandmother went to the school outside Winder just a few hours before the shooting to talk about how to help him because he was having problems. The grandfather says spending 11 years with that son of a bitch screaming and hollering every day, it can affect anybody. He needs the death penalty. Unquote, the grandfather. The gunman's parents quit. The kid's parents split in 2022. They were kicked out of their home, and the kid was living with his old man when the shooting took place. And the grandfather says Colt has to pay for what he did, no question, but I'm telling you, he was driven, no question in my mind. And by the way, the kid's mother said, I was the one who notified the school counselor at the high school. I told them it was an extreme emergency for them to go immediately and find my son to check on him. This was the day it happened. A counselor said her son had been talking about school shooting that morning. An administrator went to the son's math classroom, but there was confusion. Remember, we told you before, there's another student whose name is Colton Gray. And neither student was in the room, so the official took the backpack that was in there belonging to the other kid, not the shooter, Colton, and took off with that. And then the interviews provide the strongest indication. The Appalachia school officials were alerted to concerns about that morning, that day, and were looking for minutes before he shot and killed those people, according to the police, allegedly. And they had been in contact with him. The mother says, I'm so sorry, can't fathom the pain and suffering they're all going through right now, and so on. But again, I mean, just what a failure all the way around. And the grandfather says the father should get the death penalty. Wow. 446, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder coming up. Holy crap at sports. Also, Tyreek Hill. Are you going to talk about the Tyreek Hill thing? What a strange story. I still don't get whether he was in the wrong or right, and the cops, one of them's been suspended. I don't know.
It's too soon to know.
It's really weird story, too. You think, hell, it's been a couple of days. You'd think we'd be able to figure it out. Anyway, it's coming up. Pete Davis, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 1 day, 2 days. What's the difference? We don't have to be specific. We're the news business. It's all changed now. I don't have to be accurate. Screw you. That's so close. Very close.
Extra 106.3 is committed to bringing you the local and national perspective you need and hearing your voice leading up to the election.
There is only going to be one presidential debate, and there's only one place in Atlanta you can hear it. That's Extra 106.3. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. You can listen to it at 106.3 FM, 1230 AM, extra1063.com, or the Extra 106.3 app. Download it today.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
This time of year, there are two things you can't stop: the leaves falling off the trees and the prices falling at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. If you are planning a fall wedding, birthday, or anniversary, there's never been a better time to visit Solomon Brothers Jewelers. Percentage Week is back for 1 week only, September 16th through the 22nd. This is your chance to save up to 60% off on engagement rings, wedding bands, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and more. Everything in all three of our showrooms will be discounted up to 60% off. Now is the best time to save on the engagement ring and wedding bands of your dreams. Choose from all of the top designers in the industry, or say I love you with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings or a tennis bracelet. Remember, no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. So visit us for Percentage Week, September 16th through the 22nd, going on in all three of our showrooms in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg, or online at solomonbrothers.com.
If you notice any cracks in your foundation, they're not going to go away. They need to be addressed as soon as possible to reduce additional costs that come with repair. Ramjack is the best company in the industry for repairing your foundation. We have the highest quality products in the nation. So, if you are experiencing foundation problems, please contact us at ramjack.com/Atlanta or call us at 770-502-8881. That's 770-502-8881.
One of the hardest things to do is to walk away from a paycheck. As retirement planners, Masterplan knows how hard it can be to pull the trigger on your own retirement. Don't go it alone. Masterplan is a holistic retirement planning firm that works with you to create a retirement plan to help maximize your golden years. Through income planning and money management, legacy planning, and tax planning, we create a plan specifically designed for your life. Enter retirement with confidence. Contact Masterplan to analyze your retirement outlook and create a plan that's right for you. All initial consultations are complimentary, so contact us today and begin your pursuit towards peace of mind. Visit masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Masterplan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Masterplan Retirement Consulting. The aforementioned are affiliated companies. Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Hey everybody, it's Neil Bortz, an actual attorney spokesperson for Van Sant Law. Notice the heavy traffic out there? Yep, school's back in session. Things can happen. Sometimes people aren't that careful. Maybe an accident. But David Van Sant, he's there to help smooth the way for you if somebody you love gets hurt. Call Van Sant Law at 855-GA-INJURY. 855-GA-INJURY. First call after 9/11, Van Sant Law. 855-GA-INJURY.
I got news, breaking news.
The voice of Darth Vader has passed away. James Earl Jones, age 93, has passed away.
93. I had no idea.
James Earl Jones.
Wow, what a career, what a guy, what a voice.
Field of Dreams, which you've never seen.
Well, we played the defense, the Secretary of Defense when the Harrison Ford movies were the, you know what I'm trying to think of there, whatever.
Patriot Games,
stuff like that. And again, I think this is a true story. When he was being interviewed on CNN, at some point during the interview, they said, hey, you have such a great voice. Can you say, this is CNN for us? And he did. And they used it. And it wasn't like they, called his agent and said, let's have a meeting and talk about whether you did it. They had him do it and he did it and they kept it and used it. I think that was just how it started. But this was CNN, but just a great voice, James Earl Jones. Wow, that's 93 years old. Well, you got to say hi to that.
Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Star. Bingo Long,
my God.
Motor Kings and Traveling All-Stars is one of the best baseball movies ever.
Was that who was I forgot who was in that?
Oh my God, it was Richard Pryor was in there. All the black actors from Billy D. Williams. What a great movie.
Yeah. Oh my. James Earl Jones passed away at 1993. Well, you gotta feel good about 93. I probably got a couple of summers left. What the hell? 454.
What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it?
I'm not doing much.
You got a couple left. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm not doing much. In fact, I've hit balls again. I screwed. That freaking tendon thing, the pain I had, is still. I have to ice it now. I've been icing it between stuff. And the other thing is, I know what's going on with my head. It's my teeth. When's the last time you had your teeth? What do you call it? With the hygienist girl, when they lean over their magic breasticles
cleaning your teeth.
Teeth clean. Yeah, when's the last time how often do you get your teeth cleaned? Actually, go to the dentist for a teeth cleaning.
It's about a year ago.
Oh, it's been many years. Flounder, when's the last time you went to a dentist to have your teeth cleaned?
I do it every 6 months.
Well, people don't like people like you. I'm just sorry.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
You're called anal retention.
I haven't been in years.
And that's why you had to do all that work on your teeth years ago. Well, you got to upkeep on those bad boys.
But you know what the other thing is? It's true, especially when you get to a certain age. But the other thing is, I'm feeling kind of pain in my jaw. I mean, not pain, but discomfort. And I realize I need to get my teeth cleaned. It's from not flossing and getting and so I need to go do that.
Well, remember what Randy Quaid playing Doc Holliday said in Wyatt Earp. You got to take care of your teeth, Wyatt Earp.
That's right. That's exactly. The man was correct. 455 anyway here. Well, we didn't do music stuff or anything, but that's okay. James Earl Jones passed away at 93. Harvey Rapstein is in the hospital with chest pains. I'm surprised he's still alive. I don't know how old was he, 70 or something, big fat load. Ugh. God. 455. We've been talking. Little Founders Funnies. There we go. What do you got
that there, fired off a little quick. I was going to wait. So
that's all right. A little something here for keep you amused in the
a lot of fast food. I eat Chipotle a lot. That's like my go-to. Thank you. Chipotle. I live here in New York. Now, when you go to fast food restaurants in New York City, they have like a secret code on the bathroom door. Because like they don't want, if you don't have a secret code in New York, people will move into your bathroom. They're like, this is our apartment now. But I don't know if you know this. When you go to the middle of the country, people don't want to live in the Chipotle bathroom. So there's no code on the bathroom door, which is confusing to us New Yorkers. Like I was in like rural Illinois recently, and I went to a Chipotle, and I walked up to the counter, and I was like, hey, what is the bathroom code? And the guy had no idea what I was talking about. He was like, number 1, urine. Number 2. Yeah. Is that the code you're asking me for? I was like, no, I know that code, of course. That's the most popular bathroom code, of course. Number 1, pee. Number 2, poo. We all know that.
Thanks for sharing that one.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of bathroom humor. Luckily, that's a good point there.
It's still fun.
No, it's still fun. 4:57, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Hold on a second. This is, we were talking about the media and stuff. We're going to talk a little bit after the top of the hour. We got some news coming up here. We're going to talk more about the Afghanistan withdrawal and a bias in the media. And Tom Cotton once again set Dana Duna Bushbash set straight on her face again here. But speaking of the way people are not handling the news properly all over the world, particularly in Britain these days, the BBC has now been accused of breaching its own editorial guidelines in the coverage of the Israeli-Hamas war. Just in the Hamas-Israeli war since last October, the BBC, British Broadcasting, has been accused of breaching its own editorial guidelines 1,533 times. A team of 20 lawyers and 20 data scientists analyzed 9 million words from the BBC. They used parts of artificial intelligence to discover a deeply worrying pattern. Israel mentioned with genocide 14 times more than Hamas was mentioned with genocide. The outlet, which is sponsored by public funds, the BBC TV in Britain, downplayed the role of Hamas terrorism in the war. They showed a clear partiality toward one side. It breaches BBC's royal charter. It claims the Jewish state was ultimately presented as a militaristic and aggressive nation, failed to recognize Hamas as a terrorist organization 12,000 times during the 4-month period. The BBC says, well, we're going to consider that report, boy. We're going to consider it. But, we really know about your research. You just can't look at words, The BBC says, well, sure, you call it, you say stuff. But just because there are words around, just looking at words doesn't really mean, the same thing as actual, syllables and stuff. So, it's very, very, yes, I think we'll be investigating in the future, because, yes, it's exactly what we have to consider right now, freaking idiots. What the hell's going on in the world? Seriously, what? I mean, civil rights of Europeans in Britain and Canada, and jeez.
We allowed the hippie generation to basically infiltrate every aspect of society and take it over.
And the schools are helping them right along. That's where it just keeps flowing. All right, almost 5 o'clock. Boy, we got a lot of sports coming up, too. And latest on the news, the Afghan pullout, you hear a bunch of stuff. And Bernie Sanders outs the fact that the woman who wants to be your latex salesman is a freaking phony. Not that we didn't know that. Almost 5 o'clock. Look out. There we go.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
A thumbs up from the Vice President, Lisa Brady, Fox News, also telling reporters she feels good while heading to Philadelphia for tomorrow night's debate with former President Trump. The Harris campaign now has a policy page.
The day before the debate, Vice President Harris has finally put those policies on her campaign website. They're largely big ideas, mostly things that she's talked about before that build off of Joe Biden's policies.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. That includes her proposed grocery price gouging ban and help for first-time home buyers. Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz tells Fox News Harris is pretending not to have left-wing positions.
There's a reason that the left is not mad at Kamala for pretending to run away from all of her left-wing positions.
because they know she's pretending. They know it's all about, we just got to get to Election Day.
He says Trump should contrast his policies with the current administration. The National Security Council says there's little or nothing new in a House Republican report critical of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan.
No plan of any operation whatsoever ever goes exactly according to the dictates by which you laid it out.
White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby says everything, including the collapse of the Afghan government, moved more quickly than anyone anticipated. He also says President Biden bought more time for planning by extending deadlines negotiated by the Trump administration with the Taliban. He denies the report's findings that a decision to evacuate civilians happened too late and that the Biden administration misled or lied to the American people. We're just getting word that James Earl Jones has died, the actor, also known for his unmistakable voice.
No, I am the father.
Darth Vader in Star Wars, also starring in Field of Dreams, later the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King. He's one of the few entertainers to win an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. James Earl Jones was 93. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? The sound of water being poured on 800-degree rocks. If you were here in this sauna, you'd be so hot you wouldn't have the energy to move. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. Besides, after a long ride, a helmet sweat is way more satisfying. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without even breaking a sweat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
NYPD officer Jonathan Diller's tragic story made national headlines this year. Now, Jonathan was shot and killed by a career criminal during a traffic stop. Jonathan, who is just 31 years old, leaves behind his wife Stephanie and 1-year-old son Ryan. Now, nothing will ever replace the loss of a husband and a father, but the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to pay off the mortgage on the Diller family's home. Please commit to $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of blank. Ready on your dog, target. Hair, help, hair, pop, really, help, hair, right. Road guards, out. Hair, help, hair, pop, really, hair, pop, really. Stand by. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. How you doing? 503 with Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls on 106.3. Here's the number: 404-741-1230. 741-1230. We got all the news coming up here for you. We got Holy Crap at Sports coming up here shortly. And again, I'm kind of excited because I'm going to go pay a little visit to the boys in the broadcast booth on the 680 The Fan during the ball game. There's a makeup game tonight with the Braves. And is it Cincinnati? I even forgot to.
Yes.
I think it's Cincinnati. And so I'm going to walk over there and mosey in, see if they let me in the booth to see what happens for about 30 seconds or so. So that'll be kind of fun. I'm a little nervous about it, actually. I'd
like to go ahead and thank Mike for walking you over there so you don't get lost.
Well, I said, here's the thing. I don't know where the booth, I don't know. And plus, they're usually not labeled because they don't want a stranger just walking into something that says, here's a radio station in case you want to join us. So, and I said, I'm not even sure where to go. So Mike, our crack head engineer, our crack head engineer is going to make sure I get in there properly. So it's going to be kind of, I don't know. So I probably, when I get over there, I don't know, whatever.
Do you have your pass?
I do have my pass. My lanyard, Flounder got me a lanyard, a string thing for it and everything else too. A lanyard. By the way, we have a lot of newsy stuff and everything, but I did want to mention this. I was so touched. Over the weekend, I received in the mail, or UPS or whatever it was, a calendar. I'm going to hold it up for you now. It's kind of hard to see. It's a magnificent 12-month 2025 calendar of mountains. And it has beautiful, beautiful mountain pictures. And the reason I got this calendar, I'm going to read the note. It says, thank you. And then it'll open up, says, greetings. I think you need a vacation. These mountains are beautiful. Why are you so angry all the time? These mountains are beautiful. Why are you so angry all the time? We do not have much time left in our lives. You have to have less anger. Not good for the blood pressure. I love the horse and cat videos. Peace for Israel, and our country is great. We both have traveled. There's no place I'd rather be. Yes, we could make it better, but still great. All my best, Jill, which, by the way, is my long-lost sister's name. I don't know whether she's dead or alive. Obviously, it's not from her. I think she might have mentioned something. But anyway, a nice lady named Jill sent me a catalog of shots of mountains, so I'll calm the hell down. Oh, and by the way, I just realized I took the wrapping off. It had her return address, and I'm sure I put it. I didn't save it, so I don't know if I can thank her. But if you know, some girl named Jill sent me a mountain catalog. Thank you. In fact, Stacy and her naughty little sister Shannon, the sub-sisters at Nucky's Hoagies, they were saying, they've been a sponsor of our Flounders Funnies for a while, off and on stuff. And she was saying that they're still talking about the time when I tried to throw that guy through the window when he came in on our live broadcast that day, complaining about something. So I got to calm down before I get in trouble, I guess. I'll work on it. 507-404-741-1230. Okay, here we go. The House GOP has released a scathing report on the Afghanistan withdrawal. Couple of quick, I'm not going to spend the whole day on it, but again, because it makes my blood boil. And again, the Republican report says Biden was in on this from the beginning. His hands were tied to the agreement before President Donald Trump made. And they're, of course, going to blame Donald Trump for everything. The Taliban had a deadline for U.S. withdrawal for the summer of 2021. State officials had no plan for getting Americans and allies out of there while there were still troops there to protect them. Biden and Vice President Said Peace advised top leaders the Taliban were already in violation of the conditions. Therefore, the U.S. was not obligated to leave. They should have waited to get it all the withdrawal all organized. The State Department started building up more personnel instead. It turns out the former ambassador to Afghanistan, Ross Wilson, instead of shrinking the embassy, which is one of the biggest in the world, made it even bigger and bigger, knowing that there were bad things happening. And then, by the way, it turns out that this guy, the ambassador, well, now I can't find the damn thing. Hold on a second. There's another. Oh, here we go. No, I can't. I still can't find it. The ambassador there were more than 1,000 other Americans still left on the ground, and the ambassador himself disappeared. Let's see. Ross Wilson, instead of shrinking, grew the embassy's presence like crazy, and then he had someone else take a test for him. He reportedly had COVID, but got a foreign service officer to take a COVID test for him so he could flee the country.
That's smart.
Jeez. Yeah, it worked.
I don't blame him.
It worked.
I don't blame him.
And again, the video of the people hanging onto the airline wings, the plane wings, trying to go to America on the wings. My God. The Taliban had surrounded Kabul, obtained by the committee, the national security people. They knew they were determined. They didn't know who was eligible to be evacuated. They didn't know who was on those planes. The whole thing was a disaster.
Yep.
They sent the troops home, and then they closed the military base and had the people leaving at the civilian airport, which couldn't be defended. The whole thing was just absolute nightmare. It goes on and on and on. The Abbey Gate, the bombs blasted there, killing all those people. It's just one thing after another. And by the way, the House Democrats are blaming Donald Trump. The plans for withdrawing of the Afghanistan began under the Trump administration. They say the witnesses would have faced renewed combat with the Taliban had we not continued the withdrawal. So they're claiming that Donald Trump started it, and if they hadn't withdrawn when they did, there would have been more people killed. No, Donald Trump made a deal. Don't we remember this? Donald Trump made a deal with the Taliban, said, okay, tell you what, you guys, leave us alone. We're leaving. Everybody knew we were pulling out. Everybody knew it. We were leaving. We're pulling out. If you leave us alone, nobody's going to get hurt. If you mess with us, we'll have another war. And it worked. It was going on. The Taliban knew that at some point, as soon as we left, they were going to take over control of the country again. It's up to the Afghan forces to, safeguard their own country. And it was time to turn it over to them. So that was just the way it was going to be. But instead, with this haphazard, ridiculous, unplanned evacuation in such a hurry, it was a disaster. And there's still thousands of people. Oh, and by the way, there's even more information here about how the Taliban then used American equipment plus that $7 billion in aid and the military equipment we left over there for them. They used our military intelligence equipment to track down all of the American supporters and murder them by the hundreds. Murdered hundreds of them. Sold the girls into slavery. Women are no longer allowed to be seen in public without a hat on or a cover, and they're not allowed to speak in public. Yeah. Nice going. And by the way, one of the guys on the commission quit because the commission barely mentioned Carmela's side piece, even though she'd been bragging about being the last one in the room for the withdrawal. And he said, we barely even mentioned her. And speaking of her, Flounder, let's do cut number one. This is incredible. Bernie Sanders on TV over the weekend on Meet the Press. Holy crap. He's talking about Carmela's stuff. And well, here's the question and the answer about whether or not the woman who wants to be your latex salesman is a dirty, stinking, rotten phony. Number one.
No, I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and doing what she thinks is right in order to win the election. My own view is slightly different. I think that in America today, there are a lot of people, rural people, working class people, who no longer believe that the United States Congress and government represents their interests. Too dominated by big money interests.
The Congress. That was you guys. The Congress no longer represents you because it's your Congress, your presidency, your White House, and your Congress and your Senate. So you're the ones to blame for your policies and everything else. And then he said the words. You heard him say, well, she's doing whatever she has to do to win the election. I mean, they're saying it out loud and being, oh, yeah, good idea. That's smart.
Every 2 to 4 years, the Democrats bring out the same promises and the same lies, and every time they win, things get worse. And every other election, the people line up and believe it again.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, he said it out loud. I mean, I can't help but, I said, oh, my God. And, of course, the White House saying, well, no, we're just, we have new policies for the new America. We're, leading. And I said, I mean, and again, I don't understand how the polls show it basically 50-50. And the stock market went up today. Did it go up like 500 points? Did I hear that? The
stock market's got nothing to do with reality or what the country's going through.
I don't get anything. I feel like I should know these things, and I don't know anything. It's like I can't understand. I can't explain this. If I had to explain this to my kids, I couldn't do it. I mean, I'm sorry. I literally couldn't.
It's our money,
Lord. And they say that a third of the country has yet to decide about Carmela's side piece. And so they're going to get their information decide based on mainstream media and YouTube and TikTok, and so they're going to be lied to. I'll tell you.
Both Nate Silver and Daily Mail said that Trump is leading in the key places.
In fact, Nate Silver just this afternoon said Trump has a 64% chance of winning.
So if they cheat, no one's going to believe she won.
Yeah. Well, now the other thing is, again, if we're talking, when they do these polls, when they talk to individuals, obviously if you do polls in New York State, you're going to have a chance of having a lot more Democrats answer the poll than you are conservatives. So if a poll shows 9,000 people think she's great and only 300 people think Trump's great, it's because that's the people they interviewed. It doesn't mean all those different states represented are all going to be for her as opposed to Trump. That's why we have an electoral college. And by the way, if she wins, there goes the electoral college. I guarantee you, they'll do everything they can to pack the court with 19 or 21 members and to get rid of the Electoral College, have everything done with a national. Remember, House Resolution 1 was to nationalize elections. And if they get it in the end, it's over. It's over. There will be a revolution. I think if that happened where everything was nationalized, and whether you liked it or not, I really think there would be a serious set of consequences.
History has shown that 100 million heavily armed people who do not want to be under a certain government will not stay under that government long.
Yeah. 5:14. Let's have some fun. Holy Crap at Sports is coming up with Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Flounder's funnies and your calls and Pete's tweets. We got it all on 106.7. Look out. Here we go.
Politics get heated, but should never become violent. With so many questions about what happens next, trust the conservative voice of Atlanta for the latest news and the voices you need during such an uncertain time in America.
There was a story that broke with the Gold Star families because she basically said Donald Trump was politicizing laying the wreath at Arlington Cemetery. And the Gold Star families have decided they've had enough. There's no way you can walk up to the tomb of the unknown soldier and have anything but reverence for what's being done when you see those soldiers standing there in driving rain or in snow, and they're told to leave their post. And they're like, I will not, because I have so much reverence for the people that this tomb represents. And then you have a political party in the Democrats who don't even show up. Until you show up, shut up.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Now look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
Veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but need a trusted resource to navigate life beyond military service. The Warrior Alliance is changing thousands of lives for the better and needs your support to expand our impact. Join us for an exciting fundraising program, followed by an Atlanta Braves baseball private event on Friday, September 13th. Special guests include powerful veteran testimonies, Atlanta Braves alumnus Sid Bream, and Drivin' and Cryin's Kevin Kinney. Individual tickets and VIP tables are on sale now at thewarrioralliance.org.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family, and 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. The best part of my job is when I get to put a settlement check in the hands of someone Bruce won a case for and see it change their life. I'm Amy Risley, and I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
Here we go. Our 5 o'clock hour brought to you by our friends at Lee Brandt Jewelers. Luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com. 519. Hey, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Braves got the prettiest, ugliest win of the season yesterday, as Jeff Drancourt called it, after Chris Sale left the mound after 6 stellar innings of 2-hit shutout ball, walking just 1 and striking out 7 Toronto batters at Truist Park. But the bullpen couldn't hold it as Gio Urshela's error at third base led to a 2-out, 2-strike, 2-run homer by Spencer Horwitz off Joe Jimenez, Spencer's third dinger in 2 games, and gave the Blue Jays a 2-1 lead in the 8th. Jared Kelenic had given the Braves a 1-0 lead earlier in the game with a solo homer. So the Braves tied it up in the bottom of the 9th. The Jays took the lead in the top of the 11th, but the Bravos were ready and waiting.
Pitch on the way. Murphy, comebacker, up the middle. Going to be a tough play. They come to the plate. Braves win! Throw is late! And the Braves celebrate an extra innings win to take the series versus the Jays. They needed it in the worst way. And the Braves find a way versus Toronto.
Ben Ingram on 680 The Fan with an exciting call. Braves win 4-3, are now ahead of the Mets for the third and final National League wildcard spot. Actually, they're tied, but Atlanta owns the tiebreaker, so all we have to do is tie them to win. How about that?
That'll work.
Duvall, Murphy, and Olsen had the other ribbies. Raisel Iglesias, 2 innings of 2-hit ball, giving up a run, but it wasn't earned. Cincinnati comes to town for a makeup game tonight at 6:40. Right-hander Nick Martinez for the Reds. He's 7-6 against Charlie Morton, who's 8-7. Travis d'Arnaud placed on paternity leave. Chadwick Tromp called up to take his place from Gwinnett. Chris Sale has now allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 16 consecutive starts dating back to June 1st.
Ooh.
With 2,402 strikeouts, Sale is now 49th all-time and passed 3 pitchers in the all-time strikeout list yesterday. 3 guys you may have heard of.
Yeah.
Sandy Koufax, Kevin Brown, and Dennis Eckersley.
Holy cow.
Yeah. He's only 14 Ks behind Louis Tiant, who should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Wow.
And Chris has been nominated by the Braves as a possible winner of the Roberto Clemente Award, given to the player that best exemplifies baseball both on and off the field with working in the community. So good for him.
Very
what
nice.
A year.
Good year. Yeah.
Well, that was the good sports news from yesterday.
Here we go.
Gird your loins. This is like a long time coming. Here,
roll the tape, ladies and gentlemen.
Now let's get to the giant, rotting, stinking carcass of the elephant in the room, known as the Atlanta Falcons. After an off-season of high-fiving each other in Flowery Branch over the hiring of new/old head coach Raheem Morris, of signing veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins, and drafting a future starting QB in Michael Penix Jr., we thought things would change on the field. No, we were sadly mistaken. We should have known when we heard the first Rise Up slogan for the upteenth season, a slogan that has never brought success. Falcons fall at home in the bins 18-10 to Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin now 5-0 against the Falcons. No need to buy a home here. Mike already lives rent-free in Arthur Blank's head. To recap, they lost to a team that couldn't score a touchdown. They lost to a team starting Justin Fields at quarterback. They even lost to the offense of the former head coach they just fired, Arthur Smith, for having a horrible offense. The only highlights, Kyle Pitts finally catching a TD pass and the defense keeping them in the game, led by Grady Jarrett. As for Captain Kirk Cousins, he played more like Sulu. 1 TD pass, but 2 costly and horrendous interceptions. In fact, his very first Falcons pass ever directly to a Steelers defender who dropped it. Should have been a pick 6. He was pressured all day, Kirk was, mainly by one man. I'm sure you've heard of the man. His name is TJ Watt, brother of JJ.
Wow.
You may have heard of him, but the Falcons Brain Trust obviously hadn't heard of TJ or didn't care because they passed on the star pass rusher in the draft so they could go get Tack McKinley. You won't find Tack's bust in the Hall of Fame because he is a bust. Tack just recently hooked up with the Jets, who play the 49ers tonight out south of San Francisco. Now, we should have known nothing had changed when Cousins led the Birds on a Matt Ryan special, an opening drive that stalled in the red zone and led to a measly field goal. By the way, guess which 2 teams has the most lopsided record in NFL history?
Well, golly, I know one of them's the Falcons.
That would be the Falcons against the Steelers.
Yeah.
In 19 games, how many games have the Falcons won in 19 games?
Well, I know he's 5-0, probably 4.
Lower.
You can't go much lower. 3-2-1. There's 0.
2.
Oh,
they've
my
won
Lord.
2 games and they tied. And they've tied. Wow. They've lost 16. In fact, the Falcons' inception in 1966, in that time, they've had 19 head coaches. How many of the Steelers had?
Like 4 or something, isn't it?
4.
Yeah.
4 to 19. It got so bad that fans were calling for Michael Penix by the second quarter. I know Cousins hasn't played in a year, coming off a major injury. He's rusty. Gee, it's almost like he needed some game reps. I just wish the Falcons could have played a game or 3 exhibition-type games so Kirk could have worked the kinks out before the regular season. Yeah, there was an idea. Yeah, Let me remind you, I wasn't a big fan of the hiring of retread Raheem Morris. I wasn't thrilled when they signed Kirk Cousins. But once again, like so many other times since 1969, I fell for the BS coming out of Falcons headquarters. I wanted to believe this was going to be different, and maybe it still will be. It's just one game, right? But we've all seen this before. Morris is a 2-time loser at this head coaching gig, and don't give me he was just an interim coach the second time because the team sucked under him as an interim too. And Cousins will win you more games than he's going to lose, but he's never won anything that mattered. His playoff record is right up there with the French army since 1870. He always loses when everything is on the line. So what's next? We could be looking at 0-5. I'm not kidding. They traveled to Philadelphia for Monday Night Football.
Oh, boy.
Okay. You think they're going to win that?
Yeah, well.
Eagles got a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
And week 3, they have the Sunday night game against Kansas City.
Oh, boy.
The Super Bowl champs. You might have heard of them.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Week 4, New Orleans comes to town. The Saints dismantled Carolina yesterday. Week 5, the Falcons host Tampa Bay in the Thursday night game. Tampa won easily yesterday. So that's right. The nation may be treated to watching a winless Falcons team 3 times on national television in less than a month, and they could be 0-5.
Oh, boy. And doesn't Tampa have that little quarterback who was thought to be a little bust? But he sure had a great game yesterday.
He's doing okay for last year, so he went down there. Okay, we've just one loss here. We have the whole season ahead of us, and that's what I'm afraid of. Because that first game looked a whole lot like the majority of Falcons games some have sat through for almost 60 years now. It looked like the same old Falcons. That's my opinion. We welcome yours. But I will give the Falcons some credit for not completely sugarcoating this loss. On their website, AtlantaFalcons.com, their senior reporter, Tori McElhaney, wrote a column with the headline, Falcons lost to Steelers, a sobering reminder that the honeymoon period is over.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
ESPN's Field Yates had this nugget of joy. The Falcons had 22 snaps out of the shotgun. 0 were designed runs. Of the 26 snaps out of the pistol formation, the Falcons ran the ball 81% of the time. Can you say predictable, boys and girls? I knew that you could.
Yeah,
I mean, if I can figure that out, the other team, Mike Tomlin's figured that out. Yeah. So let's finish on a positive note. Last season, Kirk Cousins threw 18 touchdown passes for Minnesota before getting injured, only played 8 games. Last season, Falcons quarterbacks threw only 17, one less than Kirk did in 8 games. All season long, 17. And that's the Arthur Smith offense they lost to yesterday. The Arthur Smith they fired because of his sorry offense. Which I guess that wasn't as positive a closing note as I thought it would be. So,
well, we're positive, but you feel that way. I know that is a positive.
During the loss yesterday, the Atlanta Falcons Twitter account tweeted the phrase, rise up, 24 times in one tweet. I cannot be the only person sick and tired of this worn-out, useless slogan of losers. And they will always be pathetic losers until they remove the stain they brought on this city of the 2 most embarrassing losses in Super Bowl history, one on the field and one off of it. Only a title will erase that stigma that they have placed on the sporting legend of Atlanta. The Braves have won us 2. The Chiefs won us 1. Atlanta United has won us 1. The Hawks got to get on the sack, too. I mean, they even got to the finals. But anyway. Former Falcons defensive lineman Calais Campbell, now with the Dolphins, detained briefly by Miami-Dade police before their game yesterday. His teammate, wide receiver Tyreek Hill, stopped for allegedly speeding and driving recklessly. At one point, police handcuffed Hill and placed him on the ground. All of this filmed by drivers passing by. So Campbell and another former Falcon, Jonnu Smith, drove up to see what's going on. An officer told him to back up and move his car. He didn't do it fast enough. Calais was also detained for a bit. Both men allowed to leave and play in the game. The Fins beat the Jags. It didn't stop Tyreek, who caught an 80-yard TD pass, the longest in his career. His end-zone celebration included him placing his hands behind his back, and a teammate pretended to cuff him. Oh, those scamps. The police are investigating the incident. One policeman placed on administrative duty. We've got people screaming racism already, police brutality, and all that. The police are saying he was driving recklessly. He wasn't paying attention to what they were trying to get him to do. I wasn't there. I don't know what the truth is. So I'm one of those crazy people who's going to wait until all the facts are out before I form an opinion. Call me old-fashioned, but I've learned from Ferguson, Missouri, and St. George Floyd that witnesses, the media, and sometimes the cops don't always tell the whole truth in these matters, at least not at first.
Let's not forget Jussie Smollett either, mister. That was another true story of those Trump people.
That's true. And the highlight of the season in college football so far happened when little Northern Illinois upset mighty Notre Dame in South Bend. The Huskies star running back Antario Brown out of Beach High School in Savannah, I believe, gained 225 total yards, had a touchdown. Here's how the Huskies' own broadcasters covered the glorious moment on WDKB.
62-yarder. Snap, hold, Jeter's kick. It's blocked! It's blocked! It's blocked! Picked up by NIU! Picked up by NIU! The Huskies have done it! The Huskies with the biggest upset in NIU history! They come to South Bend, Indiana, and they knock off the number 5 team in the country. NIU 16, Notre Dame 14. The football gods were shining down on NIU.
Man, but that guy, when they blocked that punt and the guy got it and they said, lay down, don't start running, just drop.
Oh, yeah, I was yelling. I jumped up and applied, yelled, sit down,
sit down.
You idiot. This is the third time Irish coach Marcus Freeman has lost at home to a huge underdog. 2 years ago, he lost to Stanford, which was 16-point underdog, and also to Marshall that year, despite Notre Dame being a 20-point favorite. And the best part of this, not only is Rudy entering the transfer portal to leave Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish paid Northern Illinois $1.4 million American dollars to play them and beat them.
What a game. What an experience. Those guys.
College football's the best.
Oh, man. You've got to love it. You've just got to love it. Pete Davis. All right, 5:31. So much more coming up with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on Let It Rip Monday right here. Braves in town for a makeup game, Cincinnati, and it's all coming up.
It's time for your Georgia headlines presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Walt Emmer, the CEO of Waffle House, Atlanta Police Foundation Board of Trustee member, and Georgia Tech alumnus, passed away at the age of 58. Emmer had overseen the operations of Waffle House since 2012. The circumstances surrounding his death have not been released. DeKalb County firefighters responded to a house fire in Panthersville overnight. The home located on Cohasset Lane was fully engulfed in flames when firefighters arrived around 1:30 this morning. The fire destroyed the home, which partially collapsed. Investigators say no one was injured in the fire. Fire crews did rescue an animal, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Pittsburgh's Chris Boswell kicked 6 field goals to power the Steelers to an 18-10 victory over the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins went 16 of 26 for 155 yards with 2 interceptions, ending hopes of any kind of comeback.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 1063 on social media or download the Extra 1063 app.
With the upcoming election, an assassination attempt on President Trump, wars overseas, inflation, and stock market volatility, these are uncertain times. Do you have a plan? Are you prepared today to have a worry-free tomorrow? If you haven't been to True Prep, now is the time. True Prep is locally owned and operated by Joey and Matthew, who are Georgia Tech graduates. Visit True Prep on Cobb Parkway in Marietta or visit online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com.
It's the unsung hero of your home, your garage door. You never think about it. You just hit the button and it opens until it doesn't. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. So you're ready for a new garage door. At All Four Seasons, we offer fast service, affordable prices, and a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. Improve your curb appeal, lower your energy bill, secure your home, and increase your property value. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you,
I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at nelsoneldercarelaw.com.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Fall is just around the corner, and with it comes unpredictable storms. Is your home's roof and siding ready to handle the weather? Southern Exteriors is your go-to for reliable roofing and siding solutions. Whether you need a new roof, repairs, or durable siding that stands up to the elements, Southern Exteriors is here to help. Plus, they're offering free estimates, 0% interest, and no payments for up to 6 months. So you can get the peace of mind you need before the storm hits. Call Southern Exteriors today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Every kid who wanted a guitar probably played this as the first riff he learned on his guitar at the age of 7 or something. Stones. 1965. Stones, number one in Britain. The Can't Get No Satisfaction gave the band their fourth number one hit single in Britain. Keith Richards recorded a version of the riff in a Florida hotel room. He ran through it once before he fell asleep. And Richards said when he listened back to it the next morning, there was about 2 minutes of acoustic guitar before you could hear him drop the pick and then snoring for 40 minutes. He passed out recording the song at a hotel room in Florida. Well, it's another great story. Boy, they must have more. I'll bet that group of people has more great stories, just life stories, than any other 4 people you could think of.
Because I read Keith Richards' autobiography a few years ago called Life, and the stories he tells about Charlie Watts attacking Mick Jagger and almost throwing him out of a hotel window is pretty funny.
I mean, jeez. Oh, what a time.
I tell you, you want to hear that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically, Jagger and Keith were up there partying. They're in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, in a hotel room, and they're having a party. And Mick thinks it's funny to keep calling Charlie, who's sleeping downstairs in his room, and calling him up, saying, "Where's my drummer, man? My drummer should be up here partying. Where's my drummer?" And finally, he calls him up the last time. You're my drummer. You should be up here. 10 minutes later, there's a knock on the door. And Charlie has gotten up out of his bedroom, taken his pajamas off, putting on a 3-piece suit because he's always dressed well. Jagger opens the door. Charlie comes in and grabs him by the neck, lifts him up, and carries him across the room up against a wall, basically, and says, "You are my singer. I am not your drummer."
Oh, what a time. I mean, really, seriously, and they're still doing stuff. I mean, just hard to believe. 5:39, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. By the way, our birthday list includes a sports personality, Pete, Joe Theismann. Joe Theismann is 75 today, the former Redskin great, shoulder pads, not feathers. Although a guy says you got to say the former Washington football team great. Joe Theismann's name is actually Theismann, but when he was at Notre Dame, which lost yesterday, Saturday, they changed it to Theismann as in Heisman. And that's why they did it. Because Joe Theismann, and he won I believe he did win the Heisman, if I'm not correct. Didn't he win the Heisman? I think he did win it.
I'll look that up.
I think he did. And the reason they changed his name pronunciation was Heisman, Theismann as in Heisman, but his real name is Theismann. And he's
Siri,
75.
did Joe Theismann ever win the Heisman? Let's see if she's going to tell me here. Siri, did Joe Theismann ever win the Heisman? No, he never did. He was runner-up in 1970.
Well, it should tell you who did win the Heisman. Now we have to ask her who won the Heisman in 1970.
I bet it was Plunkett, because I think that was the year that Archie should have won it, and Archie Manning may have come in third. But doesn't really say.
Speaking of Jim Plunkett, I'll never forget the time when he's being interviewed by the media, who didn't really know much about Jim Plunkett, who was Stanford quarterback, Native American Indian, as I recall. And one of them said, "Now tell me, Jim, is it your mother who's deaf and your father who's blind, or the other way around?" Oh God,
yeah, that's my favorite. Listen to this. Joe Plunkett of Stanford won. Joe Theismann of Notre Dame was second. Archie Manning of Ole Miss was third. That was the year Archie should have won it.
Oh, I'll be damned.
Pat Sullivan was sixth. Of course, he won it the next year, I believe, the year after that.
I don't remember, yeah. A couple of other sports, if you don't mind, we got a lot of sports things here, which are kind of cool. Oh, by the way, I did put on my Kimmer Show Facebook page, or my personal Facebook page, and also YouTube, the video of my golfing opportunities from some time ago, including the scorecard involving a guy in the news here today. 1984, on this day, Walter Payton of the Chicago Bears, who goosed me in the fanny at Bears training camp once many years ago. Walter Payton broke Jim Brown's rushing record when Payton rushed for 15,517 yards. He did play golf, but now Walter Payton never played golf, but I played golf with Jim Brown and Lawrence Taylor, have the signed scorecard and the money I won from Lawrence Taylor on it, put that on video. And Walter Payton did goose me. I was doing interviews at the Braves training camp, the Bears training camp, and I'm in the middle of an interview, and all of a sudden go, "Ho!" like that. I turned around and Walter Payton grabbed my ass. Such a principle. No, he was a very happy-go-lucky guy.
Is that when you had an ass?
That's when I had an. I have no acetol now. I'm suffering from the symptom of no acetol. I got to get some of that vitamin stuff. In 1904, the Boston Herald did not like the name of the New York City baseball team, the Highlanders. So the Boston newspaper started calling them those Yankees from New York. And son of a gun, the Yankees name became the official name, the Yankees, in 1913. Some 9 years later, they went with the Boston Herald's idea, which is pretty, I didn't know they got that way. Also, Pete, you'll find this amusing. You'll remember 1970, baseball commissioner Bowie Kuhn suspends Detroit Tigers pitcher Denny McLain, the 30-game winner, dude, but it wasn't the first time. Denny McLain was suspended 3 times that season. He was suspended for gambling. Then he was suspended for throwing water on 2 Detroit sports writers, and then he was suspended for carrying a gun on the team plane. And then Denny McLain was spent 6 years in prison for embezzlement and mail fraud and all kinds of stuff. But he won 30 freaking games. That's still a record, isn't it? I don't think anyone's there.
No one's. Carlton came close with 27 once with the Phillies on the last place team. Amazing.
Yeah, but no one's ever going to even come close again because they're throwing too hard and they can't go more than 5.5 innings, 6 innings. That's it.
Look at the year Chris Sale is having. He's got 16 wins.
Yeah. And again, but again, they're throwing too hard. Well, they don't. Anyway, you all see the differences in the pitchers these days. Let's see. One more quick thing. 1972, the most controversial international basketball game ever, Russia versus America, 72. America leading 50-49, 3 seconds to go in the game. 3 seconds. Those 3 seconds were replayed 3 times until finally the Soviets beat us.
Yep.
And obviously the fix was in. One more quick baseball thing. Southpaw ace Randy Johnson, this day 2002, the Arizona Diamondbacks, breaks his own record when he reaches 300 strikeouts in the season for the 5th time in a row. 300 strikeouts, not 200, 300. Wow. Anyway, at 544, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. Tom Cotton on CNN's State of the Union is talking about the Appalachia High School shooting. And again, the freaking media people are doing it all over the place. Remember, the Associated Press tried to smear J.D. Vance. Well, luckily, Tom Cotton on CNN, cut number 5, Flounder, had a chance to set the record straight with those CNN people.
Do you accept that school shootings like this are just a way of life now?
No, absolutely not. And J.D. Vance doesn't either. He said that he doesn't want them to be a fact of life. And this week, the Associated Press got caught distorting that quote from him so bad that they had to retract it. But here's what we also know about that shooting, even as we're still gathering all the facts. It wasn't as bad as it might have been because there was a police officer on the school premises that was able to neutralize the shooter. Kamala Harris wants to take police officers out of school. She said it in the past.
Again, what we need to do about demilitarizing our schools and taking police officers out of schools.
That's her position. It's not surprising because she's consistently taken positions against law enforcement throughout her career as a San Francisco liberal. If that police officer hadn't been there, Kamala Harris had gotten her way, many more students and teachers might have been killed.
No question. And again, if this doesn't come up in the debate, if it isn't specifically yes or no, why'd you change your mind and get her? I hope he just makes her cry. Even the Babylon Bee is changing the headlines like AP did. A couple of quick quotes here real quick. For example, Patrick Henry, AP reports, Patrick Henry said, "Give me death." No, I don't. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, December will live in infamy. And my favorite, Bill Clinton, talking about the scandal involving him in the White House. Bill Clinton said, "I did that woman." The AP editing theories. 546 already. Holy crap. It's a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. How you doing? Look out.
Extra 106.3 is committed to bringing you the local and national perspective you need and hearing your voice leading up to the election.
There is only going to be one presidential debate, and there's only one place in Atlanta you can hear it. That's Extra 106.3. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. You can listen to it at 106.3 FM, 1230 AM, extra1063.com, or the Extra 106.3 app. Download it today.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Feeling the heat, Atlanta? Don't let it get you down. Stay cool with Carrier products from Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Their Carrier systems are designed to help keep you comfortable even during the hottest days. With advanced cooling technology, you'll enjoy a refreshing home no matter how high the temperature rises. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Plus, their Carrier systems come with excellent warranties for added peace of mind. At Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they pride themselves on better service through knowledge. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com today.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Toro. Football is kicking off, and your lawn needs to be in top shape this season. With the help of Toro Mowers and Howard Brothers, you can keep your yard looking like a winning field all season long. So stop by your local Howard Brothers and find your ideal Toro mower. Their friendly team is always ready to serve you because they know a great yard is the ultimate home field advantage. And Toro has the top-notch performance to make it happen. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Toro and with Howard Brothers.
This time of year, there are two things you can't stop: the leaves falling off the trees and the prices falling at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. If you are planning a fall wedding, birthday, or anniversary, there's never been a better time to visit Solomon Brothers Jewelers. Percentage Week is back for 1 week only, September 16th through the 22nd. This is your chance to save up to 60% off on engagement rings, wedding bands, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and more. Everything in all three of our showrooms will be discounted up to 60% off. Now is the best time to save on the engagement ring and wedding bands of your dreams. Choose from all of the top designers in the industry, or say I love you with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings or a tennis bracelet. Remember, no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. So visit us for Percentage Week, September 16th through the 22nd, going on in all three of our showrooms in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg, or online at solomonbrothers.com.
Hey everybody, it's Neil Bortz, an actual attorney spokesperson for Van Sant Law. Notice the heavy traffic out there? Yep, school's back in session. Things can happen. Sometimes people aren't that careful. Maybe an accident. But David Van Sant, he's there to help smooth the way for you if somebody you love gets hurt. Call Van Sant Law at 855-GA-INJURY. 855-GA-INJURY. First call after 9/11, Van Sant Law. 855-GA-INJURY.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-298-9383. 800-298-9383. Again, that's 800-298-9383. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to EnduranceWarranty.com.
You know I can be found sitting home all alone.
There's Elvis.
If you can't come around, at least please tell the phone. Don't be cruel.
Don't be cruel, Elvis Presley. 1956. Elvis made his first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. He performed Don't Be Cruel, Love Me Tender, Ready Teddy from the studios in Los Angeles. And the Big E was shot from the waist up so that his gyrating hips and tingling, well, it says here, oh my God, should I read Flounder's actual wording here? All right, here's what it says. Flounder's version of this. No, he didn't write it. Flounder finds one on the web, and I find out this, and this one is his. Gorgeous and provocative E was shot from the waist up so that his gyrating hips and tingling genitalia did not offend the television audience. 82% of the nation tuned in. That's unbelievable. I remember, I was watching, I think we all did. The New York Times reported, quote, when Elvis executes his bumps and grinds, it should be remembered by CBS that even a 12-year-old's curiosity might be overstimulated. Good grief, Elvis Presley. And it was a thing. I mean, it was a real serious thing. There were announcements and warnings in schools, and I mean, it was a big, big, big thing. Quick birthday or two. Kelsey Ashley. I gotta read my freaking writing here. Kelsey Asbiel. 33. She plays Monica, Kevin Costner's daughter-in-law in Yellowstone, the American Indian wife of Casey. She was on Teen Wolf, Disney's Pair of Kings, when she went by the name Kelsey Chow. She's now Kelsey Asbiel. She's 33. And let's see, Angela Cartwright, Penny Robinson on the original Lost in Space, Bridget Von Trapp in The Sound of Music, and she was originally on the Danny Thomas Show as a little girl. That's where she got her start. Angela Cartwright is 72 72 years old. Hugh Grant, 64. Rachel Hunter, the actor, the model, 55 years old today. President Grover Cleveland's wife, Frances, gave birth to their daughter, Esther, in 1893 on this day, the first time a president's child was born in the White House. And for the record, the Senate Continental Congress gave us our name. We used to be known as the United Colonies. On this day in 1776, United States. 5:54.
Real quick, we got Ed on the line. He wanted to talk about Fox's news coverage on the school shooting this past weekend.
Excellent. Welcome aboard, sir. What do you think?
Okay. This story's been out, what now? Almost a week or so?
Yeah, not quite.
All right. Yesterday, Sunday, Madison Sharpino on Fox says the following. There was this massacre at Appalachia High School in Barrow County, and the shooter used an AR-15.
Okay. And?
Well, it wasn't at Appalachia High School.
Right. I want you to tell me what you're. I don't want to react. I want you to react. Tell me what you think. You're calling. You tell me how you think, because I totally agree with everything you're about to say here. Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Well, but I think it's pretty crappy news reporting if you can't get three of the most important facts correct.
Well, for 3 days they called it Winder, Georgia. The first thing I heard on everybody was Winder, Georgia. They don't check these things. It just, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's just, but again, to them, somebody in New York, they're just reading the copy that somebody else wrote, so they're reading it. There's no excuse for it. It's just, modern day. The news is different these days. It's not the same as it used to be. Nothing's checked like it used to be. There are no editors doing anything. It's all advocacy, and it's a different business. It's totally a different business. Disappointing in most cases, I think. Anyway, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Again, I agree with you. I think we,
How do you pronounce the high school?
Appalachia.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's see. Dana Bash talked about how she tried to get, speaking of the media, Carmela Sidepiece to answer the specific questions about fracking and so forth. And then she said, finally, I wanted to ask a question about whether you changed your position. And she kept saying, you're doing Republican talking points. And she says, no, people need to know the truth. Well, this is also the same Dana Bash who refused to get her, when they were talking about, when Dana Bash asked her whether she would now decriminalize people coming across the border illegally, Carmela said, we need to secure the border, and I'll have a plan to secure the border, and there ought to be consequences. That's not the answer. There's no such thing as consequences. What could be a harshly worded letter in your permanent file? She has to answer the question, yes or no. Are you going to decriminalize people coming across the border? Is it a civil penalty? Is it a criminal penalty, or no penalty? There's only three ways to look at it. Yes, no, or yes. I mean, got to nail her down. These people don't do it.
She's already said they're not criminals.
That's right. And also this business, pathway to citizenship. Well, every time they say pathway to citizenship, you're thinking, they have to fill out the things in the phone. No, they don't. If they do a pathway saying, if you say I really need amnesty here, and by the God, I'll promise to be a good American, you're in. You just pay your son. You've been here for 6 months. You're in. We got a new pathway. If you have kids in school, you're now a citizen. If you have children under 10, you're now a citizen, because it wouldn't be fair to have kids not be citizens in America. They can do anything they want. If they win, it's over.
Mayorkas made the Haitians in Ohio some kind of special thing that they don't have to do a lot of stuff that most immigrants have to do.
And in fact, we've talked about that, the business eating birds and ducks in the park and cutting off their heads and taking them home to eat.
Cats.
And again, these people are getting everything free. And the people who live in there say, wait a minute, how come they're getting free housing and room and board and medical care and all this kind of stuff? And 20,000 of them are taking over the city, a little town in Ohio.
Because they're the replacements.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just like they said. just like they said. And they accused us of being conspiracy theorists who were just racist, didn't want little brown people coming across the border. And we said, no, you're trying to change. Yeah, go ahead.
The only difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is about 5 years.
How isn't it funny how things have changed so much in a very short period of time? All of a sudden now we're talking about gender and how 11-year-old boys can go ahead and have gender-altering surgery and medication and stuff, and this is suddenly okay, even to be talking about? You don't think this country's changed a lot in the last 4 years, let alone the last couple of years, a couple of months?
Well, Obama said he would fundamentally change America, and there's certain elements of society have been telling us for years they're coming after the children, and no one believed them.
And they're doing it. 5:59. Give her Pete and Flounder. Funny.
Y'all notice that women are always trying to get away? They're always trying to get away, aren't they? Women, y'all, where are y'all going? You're always trying to, we need a night, we need a trip, we need a weekend. Where are y'all going? We've had a tough week. It's Tuesday. What's going on at the house? Women love getting away. Fellas, have you ever wanted to get away? Fellas, never. My buddy's like, John, you want to go on a men's only camping trip? I was like, no. Fellas, everything men only is horrible. They dragged me to this camp. It was freezing, okay? There's no women there. There's no pillowcases, no sheets. But women, dude, you can't even say the word women's retreat and it's already sold out. Just women's retreat, sold out. They don't care who's going, what the itinerary is. We deserve it. We gotta go.
Who's that, Flounder?
Mr. John Crist.
All right, if I gotta go, you're killing me. See you at the ballpark. We'll give her Pete Davis. Sing me home, Christine, baby.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout